Hello, good evening and welcome to Talking Dogs TV. As you can see, we're about to dive straight into the action for race number 1. Trap 4, Myola Shamrock is your favourite. Over to Ian Fortune for the commentary.
Yeah, indeed, runners in traps now for this opening contest. The hare coming up behind boxes. Racing, good start by Trap 3 in the middle. That is Urban Castle, leads into the opening turn from on the outside. Trap 6, Oak Tree Hugo, and 1, Clonmel Column, but out front and Trey leads them into the back straight. Urban Castle on by 3.5 lengths, 2 in second, 2 Jetstream Vic back in third. You have 6, Oak Tree Hugo, and 4 trying to improve Myola Shamrock, but it's still Trap 3. Urban Castle leads round the bottom 2 bends, 2 in second spot, Jetstream Vic, 4 Myola Shamrock running on stoutly, but 3 to the line. Urban Castle will get there. Tight for second between 2 Jetstream Vic and 4 Myola Shamrock. No winning time as yet, but the winner, Trap 3, Urban Castle.
Yeah, congratulations to Reggie Roberts there winning our first race here this evening. Well, it is a fast-paced show, but we do apologise for just coming to you that little bit late. We were straight into the action. Let's have a look at Reggie winning the first race here tonight with Trap 3, Urban Castle. Out well and shows a little bit of early pace to the bend, move to the right and done Myola Shamrock no favours, but as they hit the back straight we can see Urban Castle, he's already 3 lengths clear of Trap 2, Jetstream Vic. As they head halfway down the back straight, the son of Log Hill Blake now stretches the advantage to maybe 3.5 from Jetstream Vic in second. Myola Shamrock doing some good work in third place. He usually is a strong finisher, but off the last bend, Urban Castle, the slightly race son of Log Hill Blake, as I say, was never going to be caught. Holds on well enough by maybe 1.5 from Trap 2, I think it is, Jetstream Vic in second, and Trap 4, Myola Shamrock for the 5 Moretti Syndicate back in third place. No winning time as yet, but we will get that to you as soon as we can. So of course we have the quarterfinals of the Sporting Press online edition Irish Oaks here tonight from Shelbourne Park, and we also have the final of the Larry O'Rourke sponsored Produce Stakes down in Clonmel, where Explosive Boy will be sure to go off your favourite. Joe Sheahan will be reporting from Clonmel a little bit later on in the evening. We also have the English Derby from Toaster, which will be trying to keep you up to date with all the results, especially about the Irish runners over there this evening. I can tell you that Lenson Bocco won his heat at the 6:43, I think it was. He's well and truly back to his best there, so congratulations to Team Holland. We have the likes of the Machine in action later on and a couple of other Irish stars, so we will be sure to keep you up to date as much as we can. So race 1 in Clonmel is soon to be upon us. We'll have a little bit more time to look at this one than we did have the first one. The race down here is the FFK Sires Novice Stake Final. FFK, of course, standing for Frightful Flash. Kennel's a great Frightful Flash. She was best known for maybe the likes of Tom's the Best and Sonic Flight, etc. So they're on parade. In Trap 1 we have the Una Creed, Own and Trained Galloping Blake, a son of Law Hill Blake, and Galloping Maeve, 1 from 1. In Trap 2 we've Heathview Linda for Mrs. Desana Hattamore from Carrick on Shore, a daughter of Scolari, my daddy, and Faranroy Minska. Trap 3 is a litter sister of Trap 2, also owned by Desana Hattamore. As I said, she's a daughter of Scolari, my daddy, and Farron Rory Miska. In Trap 4 we have Rewind Honey for the Limekin Lads Syndicate, this daughter of Droopy's Sydney and Landscape. She's second in her only start to date. In Trap 5, Elizabeth Lonergan's Nomadic Bolt. He's a son of Law Hill Blake and on Colleen Allen, a debut winner in 29-12. And finally out in Trap 6, Frank Dwan's Boherna Jack, son of Law Hill Blake and Boherna Sophie, third in his only start. So let's take a look at our 3 against the field here. And your current favourite, 6-4 on at the moment, Galloping Blake. He was a debut winner, fastest in this lineup on form. He's well drawn, as we say. His dam was lightly raced. She won 2 of her starts, and he's a half brother to many top performers, including Galloping Mike, who'd 1586 around here, and Galloping Moon, who won many opens across the water for Kevin Hutton, 16 opens in fact. The next one we're going to look at is another unbeaten runner. It's Elizabeth Lonergan's Nomadic Bolt. I see he was up for sale during the week on Greyhound data with a price tag of €4,000 after a brilliant debut win here. He's won all his 3 starts with 2 trials and 1 race win. It's the dam's first litter. There's 9 in the litter and 5 of them have won so far, so she's a promising brood bitch. And finally out in Trap 6, as we mentioned, Frank Dwan's Boherna Jack. He's the son of Law Hill Blake, Boherna Sophie. Fastest of these in qualifying, over 4 bends, clocking at 29.83. His dam won 2 over 7. He's well related, half brother to Pepe Bananas, who was sold for €9,000 in a recent Shelbourne Park sale. So I'm going to side with Trap 1 here, Galloping Blake, to make it 2 from 2. Joe, Galloping Blake for me here in 1. Good evening to you. What's your fancy for the first?
Thanks a million, Barry, and welcome to Clonmel Greyhound Stadium, folks. The sun is splitting the rocks here. It's absolutely perfect conditions, and we have 10 top-class action finals to look forward to here, and wonderful sponsors and a great thanks must go out to them as well. The Frightful Flash Kennels N3 final. Well, it's a very, very hard race to call. We had some fantastic runs last week from the likes of Galloping Blake, of course, from the Creed family, who of course sponsored the Galloping Kennels 82525 later in the card. 29 seconds the clock last week from trap 2 last week, and from trap 1 tonight. The inside draw should definitely suit Galloping Blake, and powerful connections there as well. Very well bred. 28.76 a litter brother of this fella did recently, so that just goes to show the breeding on offer there. The litter sisters of Heatview Linda and Heatview Petra, they're really staying strong. They're coming home from the third bend in Clonmel in about 12:50ish, which is a very, very strong time from the third bend home, and sure to be doing their best work late. Their pups, October 19. At this kind of age, pups can really, really improve, and even in a week or 2 weeks they can improve half a second. So these are two bitches that are very, very exciting, promising, and if either one of them gets their trapping boots on tonight and shows a bit of early pace, they're sure to be there at the finish line as well. Rewind Honey, of course, had a very good run in second last week as well. Nomadic Bolt, of course, a very, very impressive winner in 29.12 for very shrewd connections. It's very wide open. I'm going to go for 1, 3 and 5. I'm going to copy Barry as well and go for Galloping Blake for the win. And we're heading to Eddie for the commentary.
Bell goes for the final of the FFK Sires ON3 stake. In 1, Galloping Blake, 2, Heatview Linda, 3, Heatview Petra, 4, Rewind Honey, 5, Nomadic Bolt, 6, Borna Jack. And they're off and running, and it's trap 1 who's first to show, along with 1 and 4 who goes clear into the bend. It's trap 1, Galloping Blake, impressive last week. He goes around the first bend, 3 lengths clear of a closely tight field. Now trap 2 moves second, but into the back straight they go, and heading past halfway, it's trap 1 who's setting the pace. Trap 2 is gaining ground on the inside with a 16-26 split. Trap 1's to the advantage, but trap 2 now, Heatview Linda, is challenging strongly at the last and takes it up. It's 1 and 2. 1 is coming back for more. It's going to be tight. 1 and 2 gets up to win from 1 and second and 5 and third. 2 and 5 for your trio. The winning time 29.05.
Yeah, cracking start to the action down there in Clonmel. Trap 2, Heatview Linda, just getting up off the last bend and running on strongly. In fairness to Galloping Blake, he did battle back. Let's have a look at it again. A fast start from Galloping Blake, and from here you thought he was definitely going to be very, very hard to peg back. As we go into the first bend here, 5 does 4 no favours by running wide and pushes him out a little bit, and that ends his chances. But as they enter the back straight, Una Creed's Galloping Blake is setting a fast pace up front. He's now 3, maybe 4 lengths clear of Heatview Linda in second. As Joe did mention, the Heatview Linda bitch, she did come home strong in her recent start, and off the last bend looked like she was going to go away for a 2 or 3 length win, but credit to Galloping Blake, he did battle back well up the straight, beating a half a length. But it's a decent start to both of their careers. Joe, good performance from both the first two there. Galloping Blake looked to be the winner, but credit to Heatview Linda, she came home quite well.
Yeah, Barry, it was a very, very good performance from Heatview Linda, and we alluded to it before the race that she was really, really staying strong, and that showed from the third bend on. Galloping Blake was a very impressive winner last week, came home in 12.77 from the third bend. The difference here, and this is key, from the third bend home last week, Heatview Linda was doing 12.50, which is that couple of lengths faster, and she just really, really showed. It was very impressive. She really powered on. And you know, Clonmel is one of those tracks that people like to buy out of, and very promising pups have run here in recent times, and you know, this Heatview Linda could be absolutely anything. Very lightly racing, very, very young, and the way she stayed, it's definitely going to be on a lot of people's buyers' minds perhaps. Galloping Blake lost absolutely nothing in defeat, but ran a cracking race, and of course Nomadic Bolt back in third for Elizabeth Landrigan ran a cracking race as well. But it's a very, very top quality novice race here in Clonmel, and a very good performance. 29.05 o'clock, and a lot of these to look forward to, of these pups in future times.
First up in the red jacket, Ballymac Ice Cool for Georgie Roach, son of Ballymac Matt and Ballymac Scala. Full brother by a repeat mating to Ballymac Cooper, who trialled well at Tralee tonight, I've been informed. In 2, Night Hurricane, owned by Ollie Bray, a son of Law Hill Blake and Royal High Flyer. He's won 4 of his 9 starts. 3, Magical Poppy for Pat Guilfoyle and Donald Guilfoyle, a daughter of Confident Rankin and Cabra Twister. Some good form on her card, including a 28.52 around here. 4 is Ardalon Joe for Johnny Dooley, a son of JT Jet and Ardalon Susie, tends to stay on strongly. 5, Blessed the Hulk for Jerry Melia. This is a son of Greenwell Hulk and Holy Cross Leah. And out in trap 6, Reserve D, Rumours of Roses. This one owned by Conlett Stein, the son of Greenwell Hulk and Precious Shadow. It's the second race in your card here tonight. It's a competitive A1525. They're making the way towards traps. Not long left to get involved.
Thanks a million, Ian. As Ian did mention, Dare Trap 6 is a non-runner here. Hogmanay replaced by reserve D. For Debbie, Rumours of Roses, we have one other non-runner in race 4. It's Trap 5 replaced by reserve A for Apple. I will bring them to your attention a little bit later on. But on to the second race here in Shelbourne Park. We're going to look at our 3 against the field. The first one we're going to start with is Night Hurricane. He's 4 from 9 in his career today. Won his first 2 starts around here in 29.09 and 29.11, and also won an A1 here in a personal best of 28.73. Has won from Trap 2 in the past. He's capable of a fast start, as his 2.06 and 2.08 sectionals will show you. And his grandam, Axel Grease, actually won the Oaks here in 2013, when also trained by tonight's trainer Oliver Bray. Next up is Trap 3, another trainer who was to win the Oaks. Pat Kilfoyle won the Oaks with Miss Firecracker in 2007. She's another one who won her first 2 starts. She won on her debut in Limerick in 28.69, and then came up here to Dublin and also won in the first round of the Puppy Oaks in 28.52 on her Dublin debut. She missed the break badly in the second round of that competition on only her 3rd start, and she went down to contest the Limerick Oaks, where she had no luck. She has a bright future ahead of her. As I've mentioned, Pat has already won the Oaks with Miss Firecracker, and her grandam, Cabra Millie, was runner-up in the Oaks here in 2012. Trap 5, Bless the Hook for Jerry Media, debut winner around Newbridge in 29.02. He has already won a couple of A2s around here and a personal best of 28.68 here in March. He'd no luck in A Open company here recently, but he drops back down to A1 tonight. He might find this a little bit easier. His dam, Holy Cross Leah, was runner-up in the Derby in 2016 when she just failed to get there, but she also went on to win the 2016 Bitch Night of Stars when she was also trained by Jerry Melia. Of the rest, Trap 1, Ballymac Ice Cool, he had a big win in A3 company in Enniscorthy in April. He has struggled in A Open and A1 company since. He's 0 from 3 out of Trap 1, and he needs to return to his best form here. The draw will suit him. He's a full brother to the likes of Ballymac Cooper, as Ian had mentioned. So don't forget, you can play along tonight on Barking Buzz. Some good dividends again here last night, and last Saturday night we had some fantastic trios, a couple paying in the 100s, edging up towards the €200. We also have a pick 4 jackpot starting in the 4th race, so it's well worth getting involved on the Bark and Buzz app. Ian, this race here, nice race to start. Well, it's our second race of the evening. I'm going to side with Magical Poppy here. She was impressive in the first round of the Puppy Oaks, completely blew the start in the second round, but I think she remains with potential, and I think she could be a little bit better than these in future. I'm going to side with 3. Your thoughts here?
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried about the draw. I think there is a bit of early speed up her inside. Night Hurricane can go up strongly. Ballymac Ice Cool may not be on his card. He has that 183 win in 28.87 round in Enniscorthy, but when you stick Georgie Roach in Trap 1 in Shelbourne Park, you have to pay him respect. He can certainly get these dogs go up the fence, and I just wouldn't be surprised if Magical Poppy did struggle to get around in front, and just if she didn't, she might just, she did look actually the night she won well here in 28.52. She ran well to the 3rd bend. It was from the 3rd bend home she did a lot of running. She really powered home. She looked like she'd stay a bit further in time. So just interesting to see if she does have that pure early speed to get to the front and maybe challenge into that 3rd bend. Yeah, she's probably the most likely winner, but as I said, I'm just concerned that she won't clear the inside duo at a bit of a price. Perhaps Trap 1, Ballymac Ice Cool, could run very well indeed. As you can see, they're going behind traps. Last thoughts from yourself, Bar?
Hey, George Roach's dogs, they are in fabulous form around here recently, and this race is full of top trainers. We have Ollie Bray, who's also done the Derby and Oaks double with Bypass Bybee. Axel Grease, Pat Kilfoyle has also done the Derby Oaks double himself with Miss Firecracker and Good News, and Jerry Melia went so close with Holy Cross Leah in the Derby recently. I'm going to side with Magical Poppy. I still think she's the potential to be a little bit better than A1 in future, but I'll pass over to you for the commentary of race number 2.
Thanks, Barry. All set to go. As you can see, they're in traps. Just checking them out, making sure they're all facing the right way, they're all happy and content in themselves, and the flag will be raised. Indeed, the flag is raised. And so the runners in traps for the second here tonight at Shelbourne. 1, Ballymac Ice Cool. 2, Night Hurricane. 3, Magical Poppy. 4, Ardlin Joe. 5, Bless the Hulk. 6, The Reserve. Rumours of Roses, the hare, coming up behind traps. And racing, good start by Trap 3, Magical Poppy. 1, Ballymac Ice Cool, but Magical Poppy will make the corner. In second spot, 1, Ballymac Ice Cool. Then comes 4, Ardlon Joe, but out front and Magical Poppy now challenged by 1, Ballymac Ice Cool, and 2, Night Hurricane arrives with a rush. 4 on the outside, Ardlon Joe. It's 1, Ballymac Ice Cool. Now 3, Magical Poppy goes second again. Will she stay on stoutly? 1, Ballymac Ice Cool, but 3, Magical Poppy moving with some menace off the final bend. 1, Ballymac Ice Cool. Magical Poppy won't get there. Ballymac Ice Cool for Georgie Roach. Second is 3 Magical Poppy, and third was 4 Ardalon Joe. Again, no winning time as yet. We hope to get that clock up and working before the end of the evening, but no doubt about the winner, Ballymac Ice Cool.
Yeah, Ian gave us that winner there. Congratulations to George Roach. Let's take a look at it from the start. Trap 3, Magical Poppy, broke very well. I thought she would have went clear into the bend, but 1 has shown some nice early pace around here before, and he holds his line well up the inside. Trap 3, Magical Poppy, steering a middle to wide course and allows Ballymac Ice Cool up his inside. He shows good pace down the back straight, in fairness to him, Ballymac Ice Cool, and stretches his lead to a length and a half into the third bend. Magical Poppy runs on well again to get back into second place and give herself a chance as they turn for home. Ardalon Joe and Night Hurricane not too far in behind them, but up the home straight, Ballymac Ice Cool, he stayed on fairly well. He was always holding her to the next line and even again into the escape. But it's a good performance from George Roach, is Ballymac Ice Cool. Ian, we got the forecast there, but unfortunately it was your one that hit the line first. A good performance there by Ballymac Ice Cool.
Yeah, nice display. I was very surprised, to be honest, when Magical Poppy went to the front. I thought she'd most certainly win. As you can see, she showed a good bit of early up the middle of the track to lead, in deserving circumstances. She's shown the best early dash, but she just allows a little bit of a gap up the inside. And Ballymac Ice Cool, you could tell by his pedigree and by his profile that there was better still to come from him, and he showed plenty of pace down that back straight. He really did open up. He came from a length effectively behind Ballymac Poppy and leads her 2.5, maybe 3 lengths into that third turn. She does come back at him. She is strong enough, but Ballymac Ice Cool digging in, and in fairness, he'd won over 550 yards as well. So Ballymac Poppy running on in second spot. She's still young. That was only her 8th career start. And 4, Ardalon Joe running well for John Dooley back in third. But a good winner for Georgie Roach, and I'm delighted. I'm a big fan of Georgie's.
Yeah, Georgie really is flying around here, especially on Talking Dogs the last few weeks. His dogs have been running well on Friday nights as well and here in Shelbourne Park. So congratulations to George. Keep up the good work. So we're going to head to Clonmel now for race 2. Race 2 is the Droopy Stud. It's a novice stake final, kindly sponsored by Michael Dunphy, of course, of the Droopy family. There's some great stud dogs down there. They've had some great stud dogs in the past, the likes of Droopy's Q, Maldini, Droopy's Jet, of course, and most recently Droopy's Sydney is down there, along with hopefully new sensation Pestana. So thank you for their kind sponsorship of the Droopy Stud Novice Stake Final. So it's an interesting final. We have a couple of unbeaten sorts. Trap 3, Strides, Banjo, and Trap 4, Russian Sammy. I'm just going to see, can I get the time for the last race there in Shelbourne Park? We're having slight issues with the clock. 28.53, so a good run there by Ballymac Ice Cool, 28.53. So the dogs are just about to go on parade for race 2 in Clonmel. Trap 6 is a non-runner here, and we'll have no reserve running from Trap 6, so it's a 5-dog affair. And the first up on parade is Call Me Steve. He's owned by Mr. Matthew P. Bergen and Mark Sullivan, trained, of course, by Graham Holland, the son of Out of Range and Adamant Reba. Only a January 20, this fella. Next up in Trap 2, we have JJ Dunn's Emer's Tom, son of Ballymac Best and Emer's Ivy. August 19 whelp. In Trap 3 we have Alan Brazier, owned and trained Strides Banjo, a son of Scolari Me Daddy and Farron Rory Miska. In Trap 4 we have Russian Sammy. He's a son of Secreto and Silver Hill Exit. He's owned by Pat and Justin Muldoon and trained, of course, by Graham Holland. And our final runner out in Trap 5 is the John Kennedy trained Epic Lad. He's a son of Bell's Direction and JT Sahara, only a September 19. Very well bred indeed, Trap 5. So let's take a look at a couple of these in a little bit more detail. We'll start with Trap 3, Strides Banjo. We've seen this lad's 2 sisters contest the final of the previous race, Traps 2 and Trap 3, and they actually had the winner there in the final. It was Heathview Linda winning the final of her first race. So obviously from a good litter. He won his qualifying trial by 20 lengths, and he was a smart winner on his debut in 29.06. So a really, really promising sort, this Strides Banjo. Interesting to see how he goes tonight. The next one we're going to look at is Russian Sammy for Pat and Justin Muldoon. He won 2 of his 3 qualifying trials. Big debut win here last week in 28.90 off the back of a 2.81 sectional course by Secreto. He was lightly raced dog Secreto. He 28.03 in Tralee and 29.30 for the 5.50 in Limerick, and his dam lines go back to the likes of Minis Nikita and Tina Marina. And finally, Trap 5, Epic Lad. He's a son of the brilliant JT Sahara, which makes him a half brother to Billy's Diva, and Smart Pearls, Ballymac Himmican and Ardfard Redzer. He's out of the same litter as these. He qualified well. He's open to huge improvement, only a September 19. And look, it's a fascinating contest with some very promising types going to traps here. Joe, I'm going to side with trap 3 here. We've seen his litter sister win the first race there. I think this fella has a big future. Trap 3 for me, Strides Banjo.
Yeah, Barry, it's a fantastic race to look forward to here as well. As you say, Strides Banjo. Litter sister won the first race so impressively and staying quite strong. Put in a very good performance last week, winning in 29.06. Emer's Tom, of course, for JJ Dunn from Thurles, not too far from this track. Put in a very good run as well last week, doing a clock of 29.18. But the one I really like is Trap 1. Call Me Steve, of course, trained by Graham Holland. And we spoke about Droopy Stud and the wonderful sires that they have at the moment. A sire really like a young sire at the moment is out of range. A young sire from Australia, I believe, is throwing them nicely and very well bred. The dam is a half sister to the Kirby winner, Stone Park Leo, as well, so very, very good line. Ran on very well last week. This dog went to the sales in Kilkenny with a reserve of 5,000, turned down 3,100, so Connections clearly think an awful lot of him. And of course the Kennedy family, who run Epic Lad from Trap 5, of course the Kennedys have a very, very busy night ahead of them. This dog comes from the same dam as the wonderful Billy's Diva, so it should be improving this week as well. If I had to pick one, probably going to go for Strides Banjo to push up to Rush and Semi. Very tight buckle. We're heading to Eddie for the commentary. A very exciting race to look forward to.
Bell goes for the final of the Droopy Stud 0-2 stake. In trap 1, Call Me Steve, 2 Emer's Tom, 3 Strides Banjo, 4 Russian Sammy, 5 Epic Lad, 6 is vacant. Here's behind traps. And away they go, and it's trap 2 and 3 will dispute the early running as they go to the bend. Trap 3 is just about shading it, but 2 is the inside. So it's trap 3 who goes around in front. Trouble in behind, 4 loses ground, but it's trap 3 who leads into the back. By a length from 5 in second, that's Epic Lad. Trap 2 is back in third. Into the third bend they go, and the split is 16-29. A decent run. There's only a length and a half between Strides Banjo and Epic Lad turning for home. 3 lengths back to trap 2, but as the race up to the judges, trap 3, he's going to hang on 5 second and 2 third. 3, 5 and 2 for your trio. The winning time 29.05. It completes a double for the litter Scolari, Me Daddy and Farron Norimiska in the unraced stakes.
Yes, as Eddie has just mentioned there, it is a double for the litter brothers and sister Scolari, Me Daddy and Farron Rory Miska. Won both races down in Clonmel so far. Decent enough start from trap 3. I'm sure he can trap better in future, and he does show good early pace to the bend along with trap 2. Small bit of bumping in behind, but trap 3 is now 2 lengths clear as they enter the back straight. So then you see it's Epic Lad, this well-bred son of Bell's Erection in second place, and you think we're going to have a right race on our hands. But in fairness, 2 Strides Banjo, he keeps up the 2 length lead into the third bend. You know he's going to face this challenge off Epic Lad as they turn for home, and that's exactly just what happened. But Strides Banjo, in fairness to him, he kept on very well. Epic Lad tried his best in second, but was just held by maybe a little over a length and a quarter in 29.05. So Joe, we're after seeing 4 really good pups there in the first couple of races. That's a nice one there, that Strides Banjo. The runner-up is also a decent looking dog too.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a fantastic night for that litter. 2 races, 2 wins for the Scolari, Me Daddy, Farron Rory Miska. I mean, that is very, very impressive form. This dog came home in about 12.70. His sister that won the first race came home in about 12.50, which is staying strong. Strides Banjo unbeaten now from 2 starts, and a very, very exciting prospect to look forward to. Very, very game. The clock identical to the first race, 29.05 in the first race and 29.05 in this race, but a very, very good performance. Epic Lad, he had every chance. Was a good performance from his will to come second, and of course Emer's Tom for JJ Dunn from Thurles running in third in trap number 2. But all in all, these pups, the 12 pups that have run, or the 11 pups rather, that have run here tonight, Clonmel is a great place, a great starting off area for pups starting off. And you know, these pups, there's people, buyers love to buy from Clonmel, and there's a lot of top quality pups on show here to Clonmel, which I'm sure are going to go on to bigger and better things.
Perfect, thanks a million, Joe. So as I did allude to earlier on, we have a few changes to the card here this evening. So if you have your pens at the ready, just 3 more changes in the fourth race, The fourth race, trap 5 is out, and reserve A for Apple is in. Ballymac Raven runs from trap number 5. And in one of our Oaks heats, unfortunately for Declan Byrne, race 8, trap 3, Ballymac Orna is an absentee from trap number 3. And our final race this evening, trap 2 is out, and we've no reserve running from trap 2. Runners about to go on parade for race number 3, so we'll hand over to Ian Fortune for the parade.
Runners parading now for the third here this evening at Shelbourne Park. The Rossiach Conheran AO 525, One Sunshine Hero for Ollie Bray and the Virgil Van Fitzy Syndicate. 2 is the Thomas Buggy trained Kilgraney Patsy, owned by Mary Buggy, a son of Patsy Sabbath Highview Gem. 3 Epic News, Maria Kennedy, a son of Good News, and JT Sahara, yet to win a race but is a talented tracker. He's only an accident waiting to happen. 4 Patrick's Machine, Good Early Speed, Neelis O'Connell for Siobhan Burke, a son of Kinloch Ray, New in Test. 5 is Butsy's Bengal, Jerry Holian for the Butsy's Bocco's Syndicate. This is a son of Pinpoint Maxi Kidikal Dami, Tammy, should I say. And out in 6 is Another Dream, Real Early Speedster, trained by Mert Lahey for Pat Scully, a son of Ballymac-Esky, and Cat Girl, ideally drawn in the stripes. It is your third race here tonight, the Rossiach Conheran Open 525. They are making their way towards traps. There's not long left to place your bets.
Yes, thanks a million, Ian. About 4 minutes to the off here of race 3, the Rossiach Conheran A Open 525. All of these dogs have actually ran in top grade. They've just dropped down one rung down the ladder to A Open tonight. So we're going to look at hour 3 against the field, starting off with trap 2. Kilgraney Patsy here. He's an interesting contender, this fella. He's only had a handful of starts in 2021, and in four out of those 5 contests, he hasn't beaten a rival home. However, late last year, he was electric around here, winner in top grade twice, including 28.35 and 28.41, and he did make the final of the Juvenile Derby in 2020. So if he can come back to somewhere near his best, he has to be taken seriously. In trap 3, Epic News. Well, this fella, he's probably one of the fastest maidens in training. 8 starts without a win, but he has shown huge pace in trials, but he's yet to get it right on the track. Perhaps he lacks a yard of early pace. I've only actually seen this dog run once live. That was down in Clonmel from trap 6. He didn't trap too badly that night, but he did lack a yard of early pace, despite what the race comments say. Maybe if he can turn a little bit closer, look, there's no doubt he has a bit of pace, so if he can turn within 3 or 4 lengths of the lead down the back straight, it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. He is a full brother, of course, to Billy Steva, who we will see later on. And trap 5, Butsy's Bengal for the Butsy's Bucco Syndicate, trained by Jerry Holohan. He's a terrific strike rate, this dog. He's 11 wins from his 20 starts, and even I can tell you that's over 50%. He won 6 out of 6 at the beginning of his career. The winner at Shelbourne Park, at Galway, Limerick and Cork, and he has won in top grade over here in 2 bends, and he'll be looking to make all tonight. His breeding goes back to the likes of Ballymac Returns, one of the bitches who started off the Ballymac breeding empire. Ian, it's a nice start, trap 3. He has huge pace, yet to get it right in a race, but obviously from his trial form, he really can motor. It'd be interesting to see how he gets on here tonight.
Yeah, he's going to need to be sharp here, because there's 1 or 2 of them that can really rock it to a bend. Sunshine Hero on the fence is a good flash starter. He's well housed on the fence. 2 Kilgraney Patsy is a 202 in the past here. He too can go up well. Patrick's Machine, professional. He's 14 times a scorer. Many of them coming here at Shelbourne Park. He's another one that can absolutely hammer from traps and fly into the bend. Butsy's Bengal, of course, is real top class performer over 2 and 4 bends. So he's certainly one that can run to a corner. And we know that Another Dream was one of the stars of the early rounds of the Gold Cup here at Shelbourne Park earlier in the year, showing devastating early speed. So if trap 3, Epic News, is going to open his account, he's going to need to take an uncharacteristically fast start. It's a very tricky race. It's a case of whatever gets to that corner in front will probably win. I would tend to favour maybe the outside trio, in a sense where I think one of them will probably lead round the opening turn. And if they do, they'll probably take some catching. Another Dream is well housed, but you know, both Patrick's Machine and Butsy's Bengal can really motor into the corner. So I'm going to suggest that one of the outside 3 will score. If I had to pick something, maybe Butsy's Bengal. He has plenty of class, plenty of ability. Has a 28.37 on his card here at Shelbourne Park. And as we know, Jerry Holian can certainly do a Greyhound, and his dogs have been running well for the last while. So Butsy's Bengal is my choice, but it's very much a token selection. The battle to the corner will be all important.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Ian, Patrick's Machine has been a great dog for Siobhan Burke and Neelis O'Connell over the years. He's actually won 13 times around Shelbourne Park, 14 races in all, and of course Sunshine Hero, as you mentioned, he's a Shelbourne Park regular, and all bar 3 of his 38 starts have come around here. He's 5 wins from trap 1, so he does like the fence. And out in 6, Another Dream is a member of a really good litter, including the likes of Midra's Sally, and No All Nick, so he can go up well from trap 6. I'm going to side with trap 6 here in race number 3. It's over to Ian for the comment.
And there is the bell. The runners for this third race: 1 Sunshine Hero, 2 Kilgraney Patsy, 3 is Epic News, 4 Patrick's Machine, 5 Butsy's Bengal, and 6 is Another Dream. Here up behind boxes, Racing, good start by 4, Patrick's Machine. Now 5, Butsy's Bengal showing real early speed. Will lead into the bend. From in second spot 3, Epic News showing good speed. Then comes 1 and 3rd, Sunshine Hero. But it is Butsy's Bengal on by 3.5, maybe 4 lengths over 3. Epic News and 1 Sunshine Hero. The rest will need to absolutely fly. It's all about 5. Butsy's Bengal at this point. He remains 4.5 lengths clear, turning for home. Butsy's Bengal, this should be quick. Leads up the line, wins in fine style. Second is 3, Epic News. It's very tight for 3rd. Again, no clock at present, but no doubt about it, Butsy's Bengal went quick. Very impressive to the eye.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, no clock as Ian says, but it'd be very, very interesting to see what that run was. Let's take a look fast away from trap 5, but he shows real good early pace. Trap 4, Patrick's Machine does edge to his left, doesn't do Epic News any favours. I was interested now because Epic News put him in a decent position there. I thought he was going to make inroads, but Butsy's Bengal, he increases his lead into the 3rd bend no matter how hard Epic News tries, and he's up by 5 lengths here as they turn for home. No sign of stopping either. I think the margin was even greater as they hit the line, so he's a really, really likeable performer. That's now 12 wins from 22 starts. He must have won that race by 10 lengths. Not quite Snowfall, Ian, 16 lengths, but nonetheless it's a great performance there. 12 wins from 22.
Yeah, not quite Snowfall, 16 lengths as you say. Butsy's Bengal, he really did show tremendous early speed. It'd be very interesting to see which route this dog goes down. They could certainly go the Dundalk route once again. He has sprinting early speed. Epic News did show good speed to go in second. I thought we were going to see a big burst down the back from him, but Butsy's Bengal was really motoring. As you can see, lovely striding Greyhound. He's on by 4.5 lengths around the 3rd bend and just maintained it all the way to the line. If he was mine, there'd be 2 targets, well maybe 3, but Dundalk, Cork for the laurels, and perhaps one of the Night of Stars or Winter Racing Festival races at the end of the year. He's that good a dog. He showed brilliant early speed there. I didn't quite get the clock. I thought she said 28.53. I thought it'd be much quicker, considering the dogs behind her probably 28.50 dogs, and he's beaten them out of sight. But no, Butsy's Bengal, very impressive. He's clearly a dog to keep in mind. That's 12 from 21. Great strike rate.
Yeah, thanks very much. Yeah, 28.53. I honestly thought that might be a 28.20 run, to be honest with you, 28.30, but we haven't officially got that time yet, but when we do get it, we will bring it to you. The last year's English Derby champ, Dearjet Sydney, starts his defence of his title in Toaster in about 3 minutes' time, so I'll be keeping you abreast on the situation over there in Toaster. Hopefully we'll have that result to you before we get our next race off live in Clonmel. So as we say, race 3 in Clonmel, it is the Dan the Man at Stud A4 A5 stake final. And Dan the Man, of course, he's from the great dam line of Ullid Sight Race. She was, of course, the dam of the famous Late Late Show, and his dam Frosty Rose, she was excellent over 4 and 6 bends. His own dam Natural Energy produced many star performers, and Dan himself was a top sprinter mainly around Clonmel and Cork, winning 16 open sprints, and he's 16.01 for the 300 here in Clonmel. So thank you very much to David Hickey and Nicky O'Donnell for sponsoring this Dan the Man that Stud A4 A5 525 stake final. So dogs are just about to go on traps here for race number 1. The time we have, I'm just hearing, we were right, it wasn't 28.53. It can go a little bit quicker than that. It was 28.23, so 28.23, a fantastic performance there by Butsy's Bengal. So dogs are now on parade for race 3 in Clonmel, and there we can see trap 1. It's the Brendan Murphy owned and trained Ballinabola Paula, daughter of 010 and Doll's Lady. In trap 2 we have James O'Dee's Jim's Rich Pick, so be careful, the son of Vulturi and Catherine's Sunfern. In trap 3 we have 5 Ali Ace, a son of Lenson Panda and Maldini's Fancy, won 5 times from his 25 starts. In 4 it's your favourite here, currently 6-4, Slaney Side Post, a son of Good News, and Slaney Side Twirly's won 2 of his 5 starts. In trap 5, one of the outsiders here, Gentleman's Game, a son of Droopy's Jet and Lady Midnight, he's won 1 of his 5 starts. And finally, John Murphy's Latest Jet runs from trap number 6. You can see him coming into shot there. He is a son of Droopy's Jet and Dear Crest Lady. 3 wins from his 9 starts. So let's take a look at 3 of these in closer detail. First of all, we will start with Jim's Rich Pick. He has shown ability in previous starts, came from off the pace to win going away here in March. He ran on well behind trap 4 here in the semi-final last week, but he does need to turn a little bit closer. As you can see, his sectionals aren't setting the world on fire. Trap 4, Your race favourite here, Slaney Side Post, 277 sectional last week. If you reproduce that sectional, he will lead. He's now currently graded A1, big personal best last time, and obviously in great form. But a peak performance will see him very hard to beat indeed. And finally, John Murphy's latest Jet. In trap 6, he made it 3 wins from 9 here last week on Making All. Tricky draw outside 2 early pace runners on his inside. He needs to be foot perfect at the lids. He has won a sprint around Cork, however, late last year, so that could stand to him. But I'm going to side with trap 2, Jim's Rich Pick, to pick him up late on, Joe. It's trap 2 for me in race 3 in Clonmel. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm immediately drawn to Slaney Side Post. Put in a 277 split last week. Now, that is a very, very fast early sectional, and any greyhound doing 277 at Clonmel is more than likely going to lead up. If a repeat of that by Slaney Side Post will definitely see him in the frame tonight. Put in 28.79 the clock and coming home in 12.60. Staying well enough definitely to win a competition of this class. Ran from trap 4 last week and runs from trap 4 tonight, so the trap should not be an issue for this one. Ballinoola Paul in trap number 1 is still a maiden, probably has a tough enough assignment here to break that maiden. Jim's Rich Pick, as you say, notably came home in 12.25 from the third bend, so is staying very, very strong. If Jim's Rich Pick can be prominent at around the third bend mark, you can be sure to see this greyhound be in the frame as well. 5 Alley Ace, of course, for Paul Hogan of Nina, quite an experienced runner, has 28.99 done, and a dog running in an A4 class that has that kind of clock done, it perhaps could be in the mix as well. Latest Jet, of course, has a sprint won in 17.84, which is SO time, so definitely after impressive performance could be in the mix as well at 28.97. I'm going to go for trap number 4 here, Slaney Side Post, to be closely followed by number 6 and number 2, Jim's Rich Pick. We're going to head to Eddie for the commentary.
We're all set for the final of the Dandaman at Stud A4, A5 in trap 1, Ballinoola Paul, 2, Jim's Rich Pick, 3, 5 Alley Ace, 4, Slaney Side Post, 5, Gentleman's Game, 6, Latest Jet. And they're racing, and trap 3 takes a flyer. That's 5 Alley Ace, leads up by a length or so. 4 switches to the inside. It's going to be tight at the bend, but it's trap 4 who goes around in front. Slaney Side Post, he made up the difference impressively. He now pulls 4 or 5 lengths clear of trap 3, past halfway with 5 back in third and 2 fourth. Into the third bend they go. The split is 16.26, another decent run. 4 still has a 4 or 5 length advantage over trap 3 in second, 5 in third and 2 in fourth, but racing up the judge, Eleanor O'Neill is going to win this nice and easily from 3 in second to third. 4, 3 and 2 for your trio. The winning time 28.85.
Thanks a million, Eddie. Yes, a very good performance there by Eleanor O'Neill's Slaney Side Post in 28.85. Fantastic performance. Let's have a look at this again. Didn't come away in his best fashion. You can see he's only maybe toured out at best, but shows good track craft and good early pace to get himself up the inside and into the lead as they hit the back straight. Small bit of trouble in behind for the rest of them, but as we hit the sprint box, Slaney Side Post has already gone 4, maybe 5 lengths clear down into the third bend. Trap 3, 5 Alley Ace running well in second, Gentleman's Game in third. Your eye is drawn to trap 2, the strong finisher Jim's Rich Pick. Didn't get much of a run there around the third bend, but it would have made no difference as they straighten up for home. Slaney Side Post keeps up the gallop to win by maybe 4.5 lengths in 28.85. Joe, it was a good performance. It was your selection. Showed good early pace after a moderate start, and he's a nice looking dog going forward.
Yeah, exactly, Barry, and it's good to be off the mark. Remember, this greyhound is a June 19 whelp, is only 2 this month, so a lot more to look forward to from this. Tonight was only its 6th ever race, and out of those 6 starts has won 3, 50% strike rate so far. Very, very good start to Slaney Side Post career, and this one is very, very exciting prospect. As you said, Jim's Rich Pick stayed on quite well as well. In trap number 3, 5 Alley Ace took an absolute flyer from traps. I think it was doing it about a 2.83 section, so with early pace like that, 5 Alley Ace is going to win an awful lot of races. But yeah, 28.85 your clock. Came home in 12.59, came home in 12.60 last week, is staying quite well. And Slaney Side Post, it was all about this greyhound in the man at Stud A4 final tonight. Definitely an exciting prospect.
Thanks a million, Joe. I can let you know that the defending champion Dearjet Sydney has won his heat over in Toaster. It was bumper car stuff in the early yards, let me tell you. My pictures just broke up, and as I joined the race, he was leading by about 2 or 3 lengths down the back straight. Looked like it was straightforward. Ian, I've since seen a replay of the full race. It was anything but straightforward.
Yeah, it wasn't straightforward. He didn't come away well, which actually worked in his favour. The dog in the inside, Coney Wonderland, was straight across, gave him a couple of hefty belts in the opening yards. He was sitting sort of fourth into the corner, but stayed tight to the fence, and when the Coney dog ran off the second bend, he just took his chance. He shot through the gap. He went from being 2 or 3 lengths off the place in fourth to leading by 2 or 3 lengths by halfway, and from there he just powered home. Very efficient display by Dearjet Sydney. He will need to improve his trapping, but on this occasion it was the best thing he could possibly have done was to miss the kick. But all in all, it's been a good night for the Irish Lens and Bocco winner Dearjet Sydney. A couple of qualifiers as well as that. Unfortunately, Riaka Smasher looks like he picked up a bad injury, but hopefully he'll be given the best of care.
Yeah, thanks indeed. There'll be 3 Irish runners in the next heat. We have Native Maestro, Ballymac Wisdom and Unlock, and we will be updating you on their progress, how they're getting on. As Ian said, it's another good start for the Irish over there. If you're on social media, you can see Ian Fortune doing his best to try and wind up our UK counterparts. He's really sticking the knife into them. Ireland have won the English Derby the last 2 years, of course, with Dearjet Sydney and Priceless Blake, but we haven't won it when it's been run at Toaster. We've played 2 and lost 2 at Toaster, so just keep that in mind. But look, we seem to have a very good hand going over there this year, so I think we're as short as about 1 to 4 to take the prize home, so we should be thereabouts come to finish. So the 4th race here at Shelbourne Park, the runners will be shortly on parade. It is the www.grireland.ie A0 A1 525, €600 for the winner. Your favourite here currently is Ballymac Juliet. Slight odds on, maybe 10 to 11. She was 4 to 6 earlier on this morning. We do have a reserve in trap 5. That reserve is reserve A, Ballymac Raven, but it's now 10 to 11, trap 6, Ballymac Juliet. Second in is Costa Plenty. He's now 5 to 2 in trap 1, and it is 7 to 2 bar those 2. So they're just about to go on parade. I'll hand over to Ian Fortune.
Thanks, Barry. Runners on parade now for this 4th race here tonight at Shelbourne. It's an open A1 525, and one is Costa Plenty, a real pro for Jerry Mealy and the Cost a Lot Syndicate, a son of Droopy Roddick and Mary's Note. Despite his syndicate name, this fellow hasn't cost a lot because he's a real money spinner. 2, Drumbeg Dream for Fergal and Evan McAuliffe, a son of Rio Quattro and Honey Pound Chick, 7 times a scorer. 3, Jetstream Chief for Paul Kiley and Mike Freshwater, a son of Law Hill Blake and Jetstream Babs. Next in 4 is Crogillani, John McDonough for Pat McDonough, a daughter of Law Hill Blake and Croghill Girl. 5 on your card is the reserve A, Ballymac Raven, and this lady trimmed by Jane Hegarty. 4, Bernard Farrell, a daughter of Ballymac Bulger and Ballymac Breeze, and completing your lineup in the stripes is Ballymac Juliet, owned by Liam Dowling. This is a daughter of Vulturi and Ballymac Breeze, so a half sister to the reserve in trap 5, Ballymac Raven. They're on the way to traps. Not long left to get involved. It's the 4th race on your card.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, a little over 3 minutes to the off of race 4. So let's take a look at a couple of these. We will start with the Costa Lot Syndicate's Costa Plenty, trained by Jerry Mealy. The 2019 Texaclot Juvenile Derby winner in Newbridge, clocking a time of 28.52, this lad. And he's won over €20,000 now in prize money. In fact, over 23,000. He's got 14 wins in total, 4 of them in top open company. He clocked 28.55 in an A1 here in April. He's good early pace, he's well drawn, and his dam Mary's Note was no slouch either. She 28.44 over 525 and 41.66 for 750. Our most famous offspring would probably be Costa Plenty or Kentish Princess. Kentish Prince, I beg your pardon. We're going to look now at the race favourite Ballymac Juliet out in trap 6. This one was actually third in last year's Oaks here, and I think she'll be finishing fastest of all here tonight. She'd no luck last week, went 5th in the second round of the Oaks. She has 28.27 from this trap in the past, and she's very well related, being her dam Ballymac Breeze is also the dam of Ballymac Wild and Ballymac Reese. Of the rest of them, we'll have a look at trap 2, Drumbeg Dream. He ran a blinder here last October and just touched off, doing an estimated 28.46. Since won an A1 at Galway in 28.63. He's a bit of early pace on either side tonight, so I think this is a tricky draw. He's well bred. His breeding goes back to a great bitch called Lorraine's Friend, who threw many good winners around Shelbourne Park over the years. Trap 3 for Paul Kiley, Jetstream Chief. He won in this grade here in March when making all in 28.53. Debut winner around Waterford in 28.76, and he was a semi-finalist in the National Puppy Stake here late last year. He finished 4th in the semi-final of the National Puppy Stake. The 1, 2, 3 on that occasion were Ballymac Ariel, Billy's Diva and Antigua Getaway. So it just shows you the sort of task he faced that night. His breeding goes back to a great bitch called Dead Set. Many years ago, she was an Oak semi-finalist and won the Tote Gold collar in Harold's Cross. So, Ian, this race here, I'm going to side with Ballymac Juliet. Slightly odds on. I thought the race might pan to her favour with Cormac Prince in trap 5. I thought he might have edged in and gave her a bit of room. I still think she's the one to beat, but even money now looks a little bit skinnier. What are your thoughts here for race 4?
Yeah, I'm just glad you mentioned Dead Set there. I backed her at 8-1 to win that gold collar final. She was 4-1 on the night. I just thought the 8-1 during the week was massive. I'm a really big fan of her. I remember her very, very well indeed. Yeah, it is a cracking little contest. Obviously, real early speed on the inside from the likes of Costa Plenty. Ballymac Juliet, if she returned to something like her best, she wouldn't be too far away. I'm going to take a chance with trap 6 Ballymac Juliet to perhaps pick up Costa Plenty. Well, there is the bell for this 4th race here tonight. In 1, Costa Plenty. 2, Drumbeg Dream. 3 is Jetstream Chief. 4, Crocalani. 5, Ballymac Raven. And 6 is Ballymac Juliet. The hare coming up behind boxes. And off and racing. Good start by 1, Costa Plenty. He so rarely misses the kick. He leads into the opening turn from in 2nd spot. Trap 2, Drumbeg Dream. Down 3, Jetstream Chief moving into 2nd spot, but it's at 1 that leads Costa Plenty by 2.5. 2 in 2nd, 3, Jetstream Chief. Then comes 2, Drumbeg Dream at the 3rd bend. It's 1, Costa Plenty, but here comes trap 3, Jetstream Chief with a withering looking run. Leads off the final bend now at 3, Jetstream Chief leads up to the line. 1 coming back for more, Costa Plenty. Ballymac Juliet making a by-catching ground to finish 3rd, but it looks like 3, Jetstream Chief has seen off Costa Plenty with Ballymac Juliet Nightcatcher in 3rd. The winning time 28.69.
Thanks, Ian. Yeah, as we did mention before the off, this one is a relation of the great Dead Set. As we take it up from the start here, Costa Plenty takes his customary flying start up the inside and gets himself a nice 2-length lead as they hit the sprint box. Trap 3 does turn second now, Jetstream Chief, and he sets off in pursuit. Ballymac Juliet gave herself a hopeless task. She's about 8 lengths off the lead as they hit the 750 box. But into the 3rd bend, Costa Plenty, not the strongest stayer in the world, and Jetstream Chief loomed up on the outside here. It was always going to be one winner. Runs wide off the last bend. In fairness to Costa Plenty, he doesn't go down without a fight. And trap 6, Ballymac Juliet, running on strongly back in 3rd place, but she had it all to do at halfway. Good performance from Jetstream Chief. Costa Plenty ran well in defeat, and Ian, Ballymac Juliet, well, she was always going to struggle with a bad start like that. She left herself with far too much to do at halfway.
Yeah, she was a bit far back. She is a middle seed. She found herself out in trap 6. She didn't quite get the start she wanted, and then 5 sort of held her up around the opening 2 bends. So she did get racing until it was all over at this stage. Basically, trap 1, Costa Plenty had led into the back straight, but 3, Jetstream Chief. Yes, so many of these Jetstream dogs really do stay on strongly, and this fellow was at 28.53, well, 28.73, 20 off on his card here at Shelbourne Park. And Costa Plenty, while he has been a really gallant performer, he's nearly 4 years of age, and yeah, just found trap 3 just a fraction too strong from Jetstream Chief, who came through in the closing yards. Big winner there for Paul Kiley and Mike Freshwater, who put so much money into the game. He's got so many stars both here in Ireland and across the pond, more increasingly here in Ireland, and well, long may it continue for Mike and for Paul Kiley, of course. A good winner, Jetstream Chief.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. It was a decent race, and as we said, trap 1 there ran quite well. Costa Plenty, he's a real likeable sort. He's well into his 4th year, and that's by finishing second there, he's probably edged himself more and more closer to that magical €25,000 in prize money win. As I say, next up at Toaster we have 3 Irish runners: Native Maestro, Ballymac Wisdom and Unlock. She's back after having a litter of pups, so it's amazing that the Matthews have got her back on track. So it'll be interesting to see how she runs. Hopefully a 1, 2, 3 for the Irish. So next up we're back down to Clonmel. Race number 4 is the Ballymac Kennels A1 525 stake final, kindly sponsored of course by Liam Dowling, and we wish Liam and Shane all the best over there in their tilt for an English derby. Ballymac Ariel ran well last night. Ballymac Wild got up on the inside to win his heat last week, beating Roxholm Shake just on the line. A tremendous performance by him. And Ballymac Kingdom was brilliant on, I think it was Thursday night, when finishing strongly to win in 29. I think it was 29.53 he clocked around there. So race 4, as we did say, it is the Ballymac Kennels A1 525 stake. A big thanks to the Ballymac team. So let's see what we have here. Your current favourite is New and Sheedy for tonight's sponsor, Larry O'Rourke. It's going to be maybe a joint favourite, co-favourite. There's 3 really in the betting here that stand out. New and Sheedy at 9-4, Jack's Little Thing at 2-1, and the early paced Deadly Tornado at 5-2. It's hard to see any of the rest of them really figuring in this race. Deadly Tornado, of course, a dog with blistering early pace. Stamina not his forte. He looks sure to set the pace, but it's just a matter of how far he can get clear. He's been picked up in his last couple of starts, but I think if he hits the third bend in front, dogs tend, if they hit the third bend in front, they tend to just run on that little bit stronger if they have a solo lead at the third bend. But it's just a matter of how close New and Sheedy or Jack's Little Thing can turn to him down the back straight. So it's a good contest. It's one of the better races on the night down here. It's an A1 grade. The dogs are just about to go on parade, so I will run you through the parade. And of course, in trap 1 we have the sponsor of the main event, Larry O'Rourke. He owns New in Sheedy. He's a son of Coolavany Jap and New in Boodles. He's won 8 of his 25 starts, and he'd be fancied to go well here this evening. Next up in trap 2, it's Paul Hogan, own and trained 5 Ali Kralk, a son of Skywalker Puma and Maldini Pops. He's won 14 of his 58 starts. Let's see him there coming into shot. 72-pound black son of Skywalker Puma. Next up we have your likely race favourite, Jack's Little Thing, owned by the Pillar Syndicate and another runner trained by Graham Holland. He's from a very smart litter. He's a son of Droopy Sydney out of Limony. He's won 5 of his 10 starts. In trap 4, the early paced Deadly Tornado for James Wright and John Wright in Ipswich, a son of Droopy's Jet and Cruel Intentions, trained by Carol Ramsbottom. Just watch this fella go early, some serious early pace. Trap 5 in your shot there, it's All Over for John Leahy and Thomas Leahy. She's a daughter of Law Hill Blake and Collie and Allen. She's won 3 of her 10 starts. And finally, out in trap 6, we have the Joseph Crotty owned and trained Rapid Jack, a son of Droopy's Cane and Annie's Ace. He's won 10 of his 32 races. Pretty good strike rate there indeed. Let's have a look at the main ones here in this race. Of course, we will start with New and Sheedy. An excellent performance here last week, men picking up the Flying Deadly Tornado in 28.51. He will need to lead up trap 3 for win purposes in this race, but he has some great form in the book. He's 29.29 for 5.50 in Shelbourne Park last year. Next up is Jack's Little Thing for the Pillar Syndicate and Graham Holland. Personal best effort here last week when flying out from trap 1 and making all in a brilliant 28.40. That's now 5 wins from his 10 starts. As I say, he's a member of a really smart litter, and he'll be hoping to get the first crack at trap 4 as they enter the back straight. That brings us on to the flying early pace Deadly Tornado. James and John Wright own this fella. He can literally lead the best in the business of Merry Dance, this dog, as he showed when running in the produce or the Conor Nanny Kirby in Clonmel. I'm going to go for Deadly Tornado, Joe, to make all. A little bit of trouble in behind might help him.
I'm all over Jack's Little Thing. Put in an excellent run last week in 28.40, and this is an A1 stake, but to be honest with you, there's 3 dogs in this race that have the ability and the class to compete in any classic. Certainly New and Sheedy, Derby quarter-finalist, 29.29 he has recorded for the 5.50 in Shelbourne Park. A phenomenal greyhound, and of course would be a very fitting winner for our produce stake sponsor Larry O'Rourke. Has the inside draw of trap 1 to go up the rails, but I'm definitely going to go for Jack's Little Thing. He was so impressive last week. 28.40 from the third bend home. He came home in 12.33, and he's really staying strong. It's a very, very exciting race. And Deadly Tornado, as you say, 270 he split last week. Watch this fella go from the traps. He's definitely going to lead, I would say, in my opinion, but I think Jack's Little Thing is going to have enough in the engine to pass him out. New and Sheedy definitely to be in the mix as well. It's a very, very exciting race. Of course, Paul Hogan had a runner the last race, has 5 Valley Crackle, that bit of experience, going on 5 years of age, may struggle in this sort of company. But we're over to Eddie for the commentary.
Bell goes for the final of the Ballymac Kennels. A1 5-5 and 1 New in Sheedy, 2 5 Alley Crackle, 3 Jack's Little Thing, 4 Deadly Tornado, 5 It's All Over, 6 Rapid Jack. And they're racing, and it's trap 5 who's first to show, and he leads up from 4 and 1 on the inside as they go to the bend. It's going to be close. It's trap 1 who goes around in front. That's New in Sheedy. Bit of bumping in behind, and New in Sheedy enters the back straight with a 5-length advantage over It's All Over in second, and trap 2 and third. Passing halfway with a split of 16-10. It's New in Sheedy. Surely back to his very best. He's 4 lengths clear of trap 2 now. Is making ground. 5 Valley Crackle. He's a strong finisher, but will he get there? It's trap 1 who's maintaining a strong gallop. 2 tries gallantly in second, but doesn't get there. 1-2 in a photo. The winning time 28.66.
Well, we can't begrudge Larry O'Rourke a winner. Congratulations, Larry, and thank you once again for the sponsorship of the Produce Stakes. It was a tremendous performance. Trap 4, Deadly Tornado, for once missed a kick. Let's take a look at it again from the start. Here we go. 4 was expected to set the pace, missed the break, took a slight bump, and it was game over for him at that stage. Trap 1, in fairness to him, New and Sheedy showed plenty of early pace up the inside. There was a slight bit of trouble in behind. Jack's little thing done no favour, but as they hit the back straight, halfway down the back straight, New and Sheedy is 7-8 lengths clear. Now I have to give credit to 5 Alley Crackle. There was some performance, got within 2 lengths of the lead. He would, if you had to say that at halfway, you never would have thought he would have got that close. But up the home straight, New and Sheedy clocking 28.66, and look at the ground that 5 Alley Crackle has made back in second place. That's September 16 to be doing a run like that, and if you just look at him into the escape, he's about 4 or 5 lengths clear. Joe, New and Sheedy, for our big race sponsor tonight, he deserved success, but 5 Alley Crackle ran a blinder in second place for a dog so old.
Yeah, unfortunately, Deadly Tornado just missed a kick. Very uncharacteristic of Deadly Tornado, put in a 270 last week. But how fitting is it to see Larry O'Rourke, such a wonderful sponsor of the Produce Stakes for the last number of years. Brilliant to see him have a winner on such. It's a fantastic night here in Clonmel. Always the Produce Stakes final. It's a brilliant night, and it has a long and proud tradition here in Clonmel. And it's fantastic to see the sponsor have a winner. And it was a very, very good final. Which, you know, the likes of Jack's little thing, Deadly Tornado, some real good dogs. And 5 Alley Crackle, going on 5 years of age, it really showed a massive sparkle from the third bent home. But great to see New and Sheedy win for Larry O'Rourke at 28.66 your clock. Hopefully this dog could have another crack at the Derby. Perhaps the quarterfinalists last year could head this way this year, but after tonight's performance, definitely showing some of that old sparkle.
Thanks a million, Joe. Just to bring you up to date, I think we have an Irish 1-2 in the latest heat at Toaster. Not confirmed yet, but I'm pretty sure Native Maestro beat Unlock, who seemed to run a blinder in second place. Not too sure if Ballymac Wisdom got the third qualifying place. I will bring that to you as soon as I have it, but I'm pretty sure Native Maestro has won from Unlock in second place. We will confirm it shortly. So race 5 up here now at Shelbourne Park. Let's take a look at a couple of these in closer detail. We will start, of course, with Trap 3 here. Droopy Stud. He's an unbeaten youngster here. He's one of the most impressive dogs on the card tonight. A lot of people looking to see how he gets on in here. He's 3 from 3. He beat Croker Spirit here when last seen, and Croker Spirit has since gone on to win in 28.18. He won in 16.18 on Clonmel over 300 in his debut, and a standing run. He's very interesting. His dam was unraced. This is her first litter, and she currently has a litter on the ground to Ballymac Esky, all unraced. Next up, we're going to look at another unbeaten youngster in Trap 4, Monroe Thunder for Geraldine McKinney, trained by Graham Holland. Just seen Graham win her last race in Clonmel. As I say, another unbeaten youngster. He won on his debut in Drumbo Park in a very smart 18.36 for 3.35. It's well above average. He only had the one start this year when winning an A4 here by 14 lengths. It's a big step up in grade, but maybe he's looking to take it in his stride. He looks a promising sort. His dam won the Limerick Oaks in 2017, and she was also a finalist in the Irish Oaks in 2017. And out in Trap 6, we have Shane Nugent and Ryan Nugent's Matt's Shadow. He opened his 4-bend account around here in 28.61 last September, and has since added 5 more wins to that. He's now won 3 of his last 4 around here in this grade. He has early pace, he's well drawn, and he stays. I see his litter brother is up for sale. Matt's Malibu currently for £7,000. He's doing some huge sprint runs across in the UK. Ian, I'll just pass to you for 1 second. Not too sure if you've seen the last heat in the UK. I think it was a 1-2 for Ireland, Native Maestro and Unlock. Would I be correct?
Yeah, first and second, and it looks like Ballymac Wisdom lost out by about 3 millimetres for third spot. She was just denied by Clara Lyon. She came home hard, but unfortunately couldn't get there. Brilliant display by Native Maestro. Nothing's been really coming out of Trap 1. He came away reasonably well, showed good early speed, hit the front, and went around 3 or 4 lengths in front. Trap 6, Unlock. Back from a litter of pups, ran an unbelievable race. She moved into second around the opening 2 bends, and she charged home. This was only her third or fourth spin since she came back from a litter of pups. It was a hell of a run. There's no guarantee she'll turn as close in any other rounds, but it's just glad to see that she still has the engine. She was such a special talent last year. We got to see so little of her between lockdown and the fact that she came into season at the back end of the year, and they decided to give her a chance in the breeding paddocks. But they've brought her back, and by all accounts it looks a wise decision. But Native Maestro, massive player in this English derby for Graham Holland and Graham Box. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne, this 5th race, as you can see, they are making the way towards traps. I'm excited by Trap 3 here. Droopy's good. I've really liked him in his well, firstly, his one start here at Shelbourne Park, but I also liked him at Clonmel. He's got terrific early speed. Just if he brushes up a little bit in his trapping, he could certainly turn into a really, really talented performer. Town Penny is another can go up well. So too Tradesman in Trap 2, and Monrod Thunder, of course, has 2 wins from 2 starts, so he's fairly useful too. Even Show Business out in 5 can go up strongly, and Matt Shadow, he's won 7 times as well in his career, so plenty of wins here at Shelbourne Park as well. So it's a really competitive race. I'm going to go with Trap 3, Droopy's Good, but he is going to need to be sort of foot perfect at boxes. Well, as you can see, the runners now in traps for this 5th race here at Shelbourne Park. The Retired Greyhound Trust, open 5-2-5. Not long left before the off. And there is the bell. The runners in 1 Town Penny, 2 Tradesmen, 3 Droopy's Good, 4 Monrod Thunder, 5 Show Business, and 6 is Matt's Shadow. The hare coming up behind traps. And racing, good start by Trap 2 Tradesman. Now 3 Droopy's Good challenging into the bend. It's 2 Tradesman, but 3 Droopy's Good really racing into that bend, but takes a bump and another, and he's now back in second with 1 Town Penny third. Out front though, it's Trap 2 Tradesman from in second spot. 3 Droopy's Good charging into that third bend to challenge. Is he going to challenge to the wrong spot again? He can't quite get through. It's Tradesman digging in up front. Droopy's Good in second, back in third. 5 Show Business, but up front, and Tradesman has repelled the challenge of Droopy's Good, who was more than an eye catcher in second. Tighten up for third. The winning time 28.71. A good run by the winner, a very good run by the second.
Well, you can't beat that bit of experience, Ian. As you did mention, Droopy's Good wouldn't need to be foot perfect at the start. But look at Trap 2. He's been there, he's done it before, he's wore the t-shirt. Shows good early pace up, but Droopy's Good flies up on the outside of him, but just has to check off the back of him there and gives Tradesman a 2.5 length lead. Tradesman is no slouch. He's 28.55 around here in his pump. But look at Droopy's Good, the pace he shows. Ian, as you said in commentary, just challenged at the wrong time. Little bit of inexperience there. I'm sure when he brushes up on that, he would have drove through there on the inside. But take nothing away from Tradesman. He kept going, he done everything right, led all the way in a fine 28.71. Droopy's Good was certainly an eye catcher in second, a dog with a huge future. But congratulations to Shane Cullihan and Declan McDonough with Tradesman. Ian, as you mentioned in commentary, Droopy's Good, look, more than an eye catcher, but done plenty wrong there as well as plenty right.
Yeah, you just get the impression if this dog goes about things, right in the next few months, they may have to rename him Droopy's Great. I was really taken by this. He showed good early speed to come from behind a really talented dog Tradesman. He's after losing 3 or 4 lengths in running there. He comes again into that third bend, charges down to the third bend, and just challenging at the wrong time. Tradesman coming back in, where all dogs do come back in. So the gate is closed there on Trap 3, Droopy's Good, but he's still digging in to finish second. But Tradesman, as you said, a bit of experience, really worthwhile. Wins in 28.71. The second fellow, though, lost maybe 5-6 lengths in feet. Just don't be surprised if he does a 28.20 run around here very soon indeed. I think they have the option to go to Dundalk with this fellow, but he could certainly be a Laurels dog later in the year. Really exciting type for Owen McKenna and one of the great gentlemen of the sport, Paul Carpenter.
Certainly a dog with a big future indeed. Now, don't forget to get involved with our Barking Buzz app as well if you're playing at home. There's some great dividends, as I mentioned, great dividends here last night, and again there's some decent dividends here this evening. Last trio was guaranteed to €300, and I'm sure we might just top that for the start of the heats in our first quarter final of the Oak. So don't forget to play along, win, place, even the trio and forecast options. As I say, some good dividends on offer. So next up, we're going to head to Clonmel. It's our 5th race down there. It is, of course, the Good News and Bell's Direction A35225, kindly sponsored by John Kenny in Ordingford. So many thanks to John. Of course, Good News and Bell's Direction are currently at stud with John. Good News, of course, won the Derby in 2017, and personally I think he's an underrated and an underused sire. If you were to ask for maybe the top dog and bitch in the country, Explosive Boy and Billy Steve would be up there, and of course he is the sire of them. Bell's Direction, well, he only had the 3 starts. He won his first 2 starts in 28.24 and 28.23 next time out. Not entirely sure what happened to Bell's Direction, but I presume he picked up an injury, but he's started off to a promising start to his stud career. That is Bell's Direction. So the dogs are just on parade now. You've just seen Trap 1 there, Hawkeye Supreme, owned and trained by Dan Murphy, son of Sparta Meister and Fancy Nancy. 2 your shot there is Tis Doris Days, owned by John and Laura Carroll of Hugginstown, a daughter of Kingsmill Messi and Brycar Pearl. In Trap 3, Lynchy Boy, owned and trained by Mr. TJ Champion of Turles, the son of Confident Rankin and Booze Bubble. In trap 4 we have Compo. He's owned and trained by Brendan Murphy and Edward Sheridan, his son of 010 and Doll's Lady. In trap 5, Heaven's Shadow for Miss Suzanne O'Neill. He's a son of Good News and Heaven's Lily. And out in trap 6 we have Elizabeth Sives, Ellie's Bell, a daughter of Sonic and Exciting Style. So let's quickly take a look at 3 of these before we pass down to Joe. We will start with your race joint favourite now at the moment, 6-4. It is Hawkeye Supreme. He's an early paced youngster. He has a decent card. He's 4 wins from 14. That here last week with an all-the-way success. If he can lead up the inside here tonight, he'll be very hard to beat if repeating that 28.87. The other joint favourite in the race is trap 3, Lynchy Boy for TJ Campion. Another youngster with a good card, a wide margin winner of his semi-final last week. He had previously contested a hot sprint around Turles, but you think he must lead up trap 1 to the corner for win purposes here. And finally trap 4, Compo for Brendan Murphy and Edward Sheridan. He's the youngest in the lineup. He only has 3 starts. He picked up 2 silver medals so far. Decent Clonmel debut last week. Possible improver. He qualified well in 29.30 and 18.97 in Enniscorthy. He could be one to watch. I'm going to side with trap 1 to beat trap 4 here. Joe, what are your thoughts for race number 5?
Barry, my thoughts at the moment are I'm a small bit upset. Ian Fortune is after sending me a text message making fun of my lovely blue pants. I'm not sure if you can see him in the shot, but Ian Fortune, not happy with you, sending me messages like those. Looking forward to the good news Bell's direction at stud. It's a very, very good A3 final here. Ian Fortune, not happy with you. You'd have to go have a look at your own fashion yourself before throwing stones at me. I'm going to go for trap number 3 here. Lynchy Boy by TJ Campion was so impressive last week, winning in 28.77 the clock. 2.84 was his split, and any Greyhound doing 2.84 around Clonmel is definitely going to be prominent early and should potentially lead. Came home in 12.62, so is staying. Hawkeye Supreme, the Limerick Raider for Dan Murphy of Hospital, a 28.98 winner on debut around Limerick. Won last week in 28.87, very impressively, coming home in 12.53. That inside pitch of trap 1 sure to suit him as well. Tis Doris Days, of course, from trap 2 has some nice form, 29.16 done around Clonmel. Another one which I really like is Ellie's Bell from trap 6 for Elizabeth Sives, some feathered, nicely bred type, June 19, lightly raced, quite a consistent bitch. Won here in 29.24 back in April and is sure to be there or thereabouts as well. If I had to pick one, I'd definitely go with Lynchy Boy for TJ Campion. Only 10 races ran, but has won 3 from 10. Going with trap 3, and we're heading over to Eddie for the commentary.
We're all set for the final of the good news. Bell's direction at stud 8-3 in trap 1, Hawkeye Supreme, 2 Tis Doris Days, 3 Lynchy Boy, 4 Compo, 5 Heaven Shadow, 6 Ellie's Bell. Here's behind traps. And away they go, and it's trap 2's first to show. That's Tis Doris Day, moves to the middle of the track, but still leads up. 1 and 3 are come through, and there's a bit of trouble, which leaves now 4 in front. So it's Compo, who leads into the back straight by 2 lengths. From trap 2, Tis Doris Day is in second. Trap 5 is third, Heaven Shadow, and trap 6 is fourth. Into the third bend they go, and it's trap 4 by a length and a half. Who from trap 2, he's running wide now forward, he still has the advantage. 2, Tis Doris Days is coming back on the inside, it's going to be tight. 4 and 2, 2 and 4, and 2 gets up to win. 4 second and 5 third, 2, 4 and 5 fear trio. The winning time 29.53.
Thanks a million, Eddie. Well, Compo was just caught on the run for home, and I'm sure after that little bit of trouble at the first bend, there'll be a few people looking for Compo there. Let's take a look at it from the start. Tis Doris Day comes away quite well, but look at the early pace from Lynchy Boy, driving up in between the middle of them. Trap 1 showed a bit of early 2, and they just come together there and ruined their chances, but it all played into the hands of Compo and Tis Doris Day. Down the back straight, Compo, who ran well here on only his third start last week, has a 2-length lead into the third bend. Tis Doris Day continues to catch the eye in second place. Compo is running wide, and he leaves the door open for Tis Doris Day, and as they straighten up for home, Tis Doris Day runs on very well for John and Laura Carroll to win. Didn't get the winning time there, but wins by maybe a length and a half, 2 lengths from Compo in second place. Joe, trap 3 showed great early pace up, little bit of trouble at the bend, but decent winner in the end, Tis Doris Days.
Yeah, tis Doris Days is after showing a massive heart to come there. Got a bit of a bump at the first bend, as you say. A bit of congestion and a bit of traffic at the first bend wasn't kind to a number of dogs in that race. But my God, really showed real staying prowess from the third bend home. This tis Doris Days. I know at the time wasn't exactly the best time you're ever going to see here in Clonmel, but of course we must factor into account that bump. But very impressive. Lynchy Boy, as you say, showed that bit of early pace, but was caught up in the traffic around the first bend. Compo, I must say, is slightly disappointing late and had the opportunity there. This is a Greyhound, has an 1897 sprint trial on his card round in his Carty, which is a fair moving. But yeah, all about tis Doris Days, winner of our Good News in Bell's Direction. It's sort of kindly sponsored by John Kennedy. And of course, Kennedys have a very busy night ahead. Of course, with Good Cody running later on in the Produce Stakes final. The atmosphere is building.
Thanks a million, Joe. Right, runners are now on parade for the first of our quarter-finals. It's the first quarter-final of the Sporting Press Online Edition Irish Oaks. And in trap 1 we have a Ballymac Art. She's owned and trained by Liam Dowling. She's a daughter of Ballymac Best and Art of Illusion. She's won 10 of her 22 starts, and she's currently her 7-4 joint favourite. In trap 2 we have Asheville Adol for Gerald Geary in Youghal, a daughter of Good News, and Posh Panther has won 4 of her 16 starts, currently at 20-1. In trap 3 we have Maria and John Kennedy's Billy's Diva, a daughter of Good News and JT Sahara. 7-4 joint favourite here. Billy's Diva, of course, has won 10 of her 21 starts. In trap 4, P.O. Barry's Ballydoyle Rossa, a daughter of Droopy Sydney, and Ballymac Razzle has won 3 of her 8 starts, currently 5-1. Out in trap 5 we have Revio Diva for Mr. Philip Fitzpatrick. She is a daughter of Premier Fantasy and Revido Blue. She's won 11 of her 48 starts. And out in trap 6, the Soul Wide Seal, it's Galadriel. She is owned by Mr. Paul Reid and Paula Horrigan and trained by Declan Byrne. 2 wins from 6. So let's take a look at a couple of these in closer detail. We will start with one of your joint favourites, Ballymac Art. She was a finalist last year here, and she returned from a break with 2 very smart trials over 3.25. She ran well on a return behind last year's winner Ballymac Beanie, and she ran a blinder from this box here last week on Making All. She's a great draw tonight, and she will be looking to set the pace on the rails. In trap 3 it is of course Billy's Diva, one of Ireland's best, and she's a very similar profile to trap 1. They've both ran 20, 21 and 22 races and both won 10. She can do it both ways, Billy's Diva, but she will need to be on her toes at the trap rise here. A bit of early pace on our left, but she has been superb in her career to date. She was a National Puppy finalist, an Easter Cup finalist in the Shelbourne Park. She's starting to look like the Jimmy White of Greyhound racing, making all these finals, but hopefully she can win one soon. And Ballydoyle Rossa for P.O. Barry in trap 4, currently your 5-1 third favourite. She's a real powerhouse, still quite lightly raced, only had the 8 runs, but an excellent performance here in round 1 when Making All in 28.17. She met a little bit of traffic at the first bend last week in a tough heat behind Frontamani and Susie Sapphire, but she is capable of a massive run. Of the rest of them, Asheville Doll for Gerald Geary. She's in good form around Youghal prior to the Oaks. No show in her Shelbourne Park debut in the first round, but she stepped up on that when leading for most of the way, only to be caught turning in. She's surrounded by a couple of superstars here tonight in Ballymac Art and Billy's Diva, who are still currently your 7-4 joint favourite. Ian, which way are you going to side, red or white?
Billy's Diva has gone at boxes in the last 2 weeks. She missed it the first night. She charged through down the backstraight. Last week she just went a fraction early, but she reset very quickly and she led into the opening corner. I think she's due a flash start. Trap 3 is where she generally does them from, and I think if she hits the lids she'll be thereabouts on the corner with Ballymac Art, or perhaps in front of her, and I think she'll go on to win. I think Ballydoyle Rossa, it's starting to get really hot now in the early pace stakes. I think she'll run on to qualify, but I think she'll struggle to win, especially if Billy's Diva or Ballymac Art get loose at the head of affairs. But no, I'm firmly in the Billy's Diva camp. I think Ballymac Art is probably still a run or 2 away from her very best. It's worth remembering she did miss a bit of time because of a small toe injury, but she did run very well last week. But I think Billy's Diva is ready now. You know, we've seen 28-20 odd done here tonight. I think if she hits the lids tonight and gets a solo up front, I think she'll do close to 28 seconds.
Yeah, I'm sure if you offered any connections third place in this heat, they would take your hand off. We haven't mentioned trap 6, Galadriel. She's the youngest of the lineup, but she's already shown herself to be. She has a big future ahead of us. A huge run to pick up Ballymac Orner here last week. She's still improving. The draw could suit if there's any trouble on the inside, and she's a really good chance of qualifying as she does stay on well. A huge run over 5.75 here recently. And the only other one we haven't mentioned yet is Rio Diva. She's the most experienced in the field, and she's in really good form of late. She only had the 6 starts around Shelbourne Park, and 5 of them have resulted in top 3 finishes. I'm sure the team of Philip and Oliver Fitzpatrick would take 3rd place here this evening. So promises to be a fascinating contest. Ballymacarrt in 1, Billy's Diva in 3, Ballydoyle Rossa 4 and Galadriel 6. They're the big hitters here in this race. As Ian has said, Billy's Diva has charged the traps the last 2 weeks, but she is due a flash break. I think Ballymacarrt can go up well. I'm going to side with Ballymacarrt in red to make all, as we hand over to Ian Fortune. The last couple are just being placed in traps. Currently still joint 7-4 favourites 1 and 3. I'm going to side with trap 1 in the first heat of our Sporting Press online edition, Irish Oaks.
Yeah, thanks Barry. All in now for this opening heat of the Sporting Press online edition, Irish Oaks. And the runners now in traps for this opening heat of the Sporting Press online edition, Irish Oaks. 1 Ballymacarrt, in 2 Asheville Doll, 3 Billy's Diva, 4 Ballydoyle Rossa, 5 Revio Diva, and 6 is Galadriel. Hair up behind. Racing, good start by 1 up the inside, Ballymacarrt. Now 3, Billy's Diva has to check to the inside. Ballymacarrt leads by a length and a half, 2 in second, 3 Billy's Diva, then comes 4 Ballydoyle Rossa, but it's race on. 3 forced to check again, Billy's Diva. 4 Ballydoyle Rossa's absolutely motoring in 3rd spot, but out front, and it's Ballymacarrt. 3 Billy's Diva still hot on her heels. 4 Ballydoyle Rossa, Galadriel running an unbelievable race, back and forth, but out front it's 1 Ballymacarrt digging in. Here comes Billy's Diva. Billy's Diva gets there from 1 Ballymacarrt and Ballydoyle Rossa. The big 3 progress, but well, not quite going to script. It really went down to the wire, but it looks like Billy's Diva has just denied Ballymacarrt.
What a race that was. Let's take a look at it from the start. They both come out really well, actually, the top 2, Ballymacarrt and Billy's Diva. Ballymacarrt had a superior early pace to the bend, but just here Billy's Diva tried to get up the inside and was just forced to check off. Crucial point there, just forced to check off the back of Ballymacarrt. In fairness to Ballymacarrt, she shows great pace into the 3rd bend. Remember, Billy's Diva has some sensational runs over 600 here, and she done well to hold her as long as she did. She's still a length here in front coming off the last bend. Billy's Diva swings wide. Galadriel and Ballydoyle Rossa running huge races in behind, but just in the last 2 or 3 yards Billy's Diva gets up to win by maybe a head. In a fascinating run, Ballymacarrt held Billy's Diva a little bit longer than I thought, but the 2 of them come out with great credit.
Yeah, absolutely. Billy's Diva just forced to check her side here. Like, she would have kept a relatively true line, but when Ballymacarrt switched out in front of her, she was forced to go on the inside. You see again, she's trying to challenge on the inside at this point. Once again, she's forced to check wide. She may have clipped Ballymacarrt, may have cost her a little bit of momentum. Meanwhile, Ballydoyle Rossa arrives with a rush back in 3rd spot after the front 2 missing or sort of getting a little bit involved. Galadriel then arrives with a rush and looks like she's going to challenge for 3rd, but up front Ballymacarrt gives her all, but 3 Billy's Diva I think just chins her on the line. 1 Ballymacarrt running a massive race in 2nd spot, and back in 3rd was 4 Ballydoyle Rossa. From a purist point of view, they were the 3 you wanted to go through, but the way Galadriel ran in defeat, well, she would have been certainly one that could have held her own in the next round, but unfortunately she's gone out. We're still awaiting the photo finish for 1st spot, but no doubt about it that the 3 have gone through. Billy's Diva, Ballymacarrt and Ballydoyle Rossa, and all of a sudden the semi-finals of the Oaks are looking pretty hot because there's already 3 hugely fast ladies there.
Yeah, thanks a million. Yeah, cracking race there. I could just confirm that we've had the latest heat over in the UK. We had Boyle Sports Bingo and Night Tornado. Boyle Sports Bingo, I think he may have finished 2nd place, but Night Tornado is out. So Boyle Sports Bingo is through, Night Tornado is out. So we're heading down to Clonmel now for race 6 in Clonmel. It is the Sure Systems A4, A5, 525 bitch stake final. Just about to go on parade now, and as you can see in your shot, trap 1, just confirming there that trap 3 Billy's Diva has won. Wasn't really much doubt. But anyway, trap 1 here is Emer's Meg, owned and trained by Mrs. Emer Dunn of Turles. She is a daughter of Skywalker Rory and Emer's babies. Won 3 over 5 starts. Nice start to her career. In trap 2 we have the Mary O'Connor, trained and owned Minor Brexit. She's a daughter of Minor Mike and Minor Winner. She won 1 of her 6 starts. Next up is trap number 3, Dakash. She is owned and trained by Miss owned and trained by Dennis Dwyer and Naomi Campbell in Cashin. Naomi, I'm sure you've heard all the jokes. She is a daughter of Anytime Jim and Il Victoria. 8 wins from her 50 starts. In Trap 4, we have Rage Star, owned by Patrick Fitzgerald and trained by Christopher Delaney, a daughter of Kinloch Bray and Samia Dunn. Yet to win in 3 starts, has a second and third place finish to her name. In Trap 5, we have the Paul Davis, owned and trained Eskvale Gran, a daughter of Kinloch Bray and Kerrite Star. Won 2 of her 22 starts. And finally, out in Trap 6, we have the Morris Organ owned and trained Silk Cut Sally, a daughter of Skywalker Puma and a Bottle of Banter. So there are the runners. Just give you a quick show of betting. Emer's Meg is your 9-4 favourite. Minor Brexit 11-4. Rage Star is also 9-4, and it's 5-1 bar these 3. So we're going to take a look at Emer's Meg. She's a bitch in real form, and she's actually on a hat-trick here tonight. As I mentioned, she's 3 from 5. Perfect draw up the rails tonight. She seems to have the early pace to keep her position, and she's a big chance here for me. She's the one to beat. Trap number 3, the Cash. As I mentioned, she's been a grand servant. She's at 8 wins from her 50 starts. She remains in good form and made most here last week until caught close home by Trap 2. Has a chance to set the pace here again, and she's not without a chance. And finally, Paul Davis's Eskvale Gran, out in Trap 5. She's previously raced in A2 company and can come home quite strongly. She was beaten only 2 lengths here last week behind Minor Brexit and has 29.04 in her card last year. So I'm going to side with Trap number 1 here, Emer's Meg, to beat Trap 3, the Cash. Joe, don't mind Ian, us people with blue pens are pretty cool. I've got a blue pen here myself tonight in the studio, so don't mind him. Trap 1 for me here to beat Trap 3.
Yeah, well, Barry, when you're coming to Tipperary and being a Limerick man, you don't want to wear green or Venton green. Had to wear the blue for Tipperary, otherwise I could have been a marked man. Minor Brexit is probably my pick here. Stayed on exceptionally well last week and broke its maiden tag in the semi-finals last week. I know 1 win from 6. September 19, well, this bitch so is young and should be improving. Comes from very, very shrewd connections. Also is a granddaughter of Duck Fat, who of course was one of the top dams in the country. Produced rural Hawaii, of course, our Derby winner from a number of years ago, and Mary O'Connor is a very, very good handler, so Minor Brexit perhaps is going to be the one to beat here. Emer's Meg for Emer Donaturlis, the homebred. This lady has a lovely draw up the rails from Trap 1, ran from Trap 2 last week, so the inside suits, and is very consistent at the early sections, which is definitely a strong point to see. 2.92 last week and 2.89 the week before. As you say, going for the hat-trick. 5 races ran and 3 wins, which is a very, very good strike rate. That Cash, of course, Trap number 3 in October 16, ran well in the feet here last week, clocking 29.42. Rage Star has only had 3 starts, and there's a number of bitches in this race that have lightly raced, unexposed, and will be improving. She's young, she's July 19, it could be thereabouts. But if I had to pick one, probably going to go for Minor's Brexit. Emer's Meg is definitely going to be in the mix as well, I think, but it's a very, very good bitches race, and we're going to head over to Eddie for the commentary.
The bell goes for the final of the Sure Systems A4, A5 bitch stake. In 1 Emer's Meg, 2 Minor Brexit, 3 the Cash, 4 Rage Star, 5 Eskvale Grand, 6 Silk Cut Sally. Here's behind Traps. And they're racing. It's a very level start with Trap 1 now, quickly going clear. That's Emer's Meg. Leads into the first bend by about 3 or 4 lengths. 4 and 6 bump and lose ground, but it's Trap 1 who leads into the back straight by 3 lengths from 4 and second. That's Rage there. Trap 6 is third, Silk Cut Sally, and Trap 2 is fourth. Into the third bend they go, and the split is 16.40. Emer's Meg is showing no signs of slowing down, still holds a 3 or 4 length advantage over Rage Star in second, and Trap 6, Silk Cut Sally in third. No stopping Emer's Meg. Trap to line, 4 second, close for third. 1-4 and a photo. Winning time 29.11.
Thanks a million, Eddie. Yeah, another good performance there by Emer's Meg. Congratulations to Emer Dunn in Turles. That now makes it 4 wins from her 6 starts. Let's take a look again. Didn't come away too well, but she has instant early pace as soon as she hits the ground. And after 50-60 yards, she's already gone 2 lengths clear. Slight bit of trouble in behind. Trap 4 gets first run at a Rage Star, but she sets a strong gallop down the back straight, Emer's Meg. She's now 3 lengths clear and increasing it all the time. Now 4 or 5 lengths clear into the third bend, maybe even 6. Battle on for second between Rage Star and Silk Cut Sally. Minor Brexit didn't get the look of the running back in 4th place, but after the last bend, Emer's Meg tying up slightly, but still holds on by a good 2.5 lengths over Rage Star, who ran well in second. Slightly unsighted there, trap 4 after the line rage start, but just ran on okay. Joe, decent performance. Emer's Meg, this now 4 wins from 6 starts.
Yeah, Emer's Meg, a very, very nice performance there, improving to do 29.11. Remember, she got a bump in the semi-final last week when doing 29.48, so that kind of 29.11 run was always going to be in the tank. Got a lovely run up the inside, showed early dash, consistent with her splits yet again, doing 2.87, and that's a nice split to do to the first bend here in Clonmel, and that was the reason she led up and she drove on from there. Rage Star, of course, only its 4th start tonight, a very honourable 2nd, and Silkcut Sally ran on very, very well, stayed on well for trainer Morris Organ back in 3rd. But Emer's Meg, 6 starts, 3 wins, very, very nice bitch to look forward to. She's only August 19, she's very young, and a lot more to come from Emer's Meg for sure. Well done to Emer Dunn from Thurles, taking our Stewart Systems A4 bitch 525 final there.
Thanks a million, Joe. Okay, next up here we have the second quarter-final of the Sporting Press online edition, Irish Oaks, and if it's half as good as the first semi-final, we're in for another cracker. Debbie O'Rourke is looking after our Barking Buzz Twitter account tonight, and she's just informed me that the trio for the next race will be guaranteed to €400, so don't forget to have a small play in our trio pool. Other pools are available: forecast, win and place. So let's take a look at the show betting here for our second heat. We currently have Susie Sapphire, who's your 3-1 favourite. Scooby Princess is also in there, 3-1, although she's now 5-2, so a few quid knocking about for her. Clonasky 4-1. You can have 5-1 Killpipe Blue, and Swanley Chick, and you can have 7-1 Highview Secure. Highview Secure is capable of a fast start, so 7-1 about her might not be a bad price at all. Just to let you know, in the next heat of the English Derby, the next one that involves Irish runners will be 8:51. We will have Kamiko for Larry O'Rourke, of course, the Produce Stake sponsor. We will have D Machine, a lot of people's fancy for outright honours, and Ballymac Fair One. That is off at 8:51. Ian, just give you a quick line there on D Machine. He's only won the one race so far, but he's very short in the betting for a dog that's only won one race. Would you be giving him? He should qualify a couple of rounds. Would you be giving him a chance?
You have to give him a chance, Barry. He has massive pace. Obviously, we saw him running so close in the Kirby Memorial, coming from lengths behind really fast greyhounds. He's a 27.70 dog from the second bend home. It's just a case of whether Toaster suits him or not. There's a lot of racing on the turn. The straights are relatively short, and the run in, while we have seen dogs coming from off the pace to win, it's a relatively short run in. Now, I suppose the same could probably be said for Limerick, so there's no reason. The beauty is that he has been around there. He reached the final of the Puppy Derby at Toaster last year when a raw novice. So you'd like to think that bit of experience will really stand to him. A few Shrewdies have told me that Ballymac Fair One will go very close, and I believe there's a bit of confidence in the kennel, so just don't be surprised now if he was to upset the Machine tonight, because if he gets loose from trap 3, the Machine will really have to be racing to get at him. As you can see, though, they're on parade for the next quarterfinal of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. First up in this second quarterfinal of the Sporting Press Online Edition Irish Oaks, Killpipe Blue for Graham Holland and William Codd, a daughter Droopy Sydney and Vic Raz. 2 is Clona Sky, the Cork Oaks winner, a second runner for Graham Holland, owned by Kevin O'Brien, a daughter of Law Hill Blake and Coolavani Pearl, will need to hit the lids to avoid trap 1 in the early yards. 3 Highview Secure can go up fast. Jerry Merriman and Paddy Merriman are responsible for this, daughter of Storm Control and Highview Idol. 4 in your card is Scooby Princess, Jennifer O'Donnell for Steve Noble, a daughter of Ballymac Esky and Mount Taylor Queen. She's been in sensational form. She's bidding for 7 in a row. She won the recent Limerick Oaks. In 5, the Puppy Oaks champion, Susie Sapphire for Owen McKenna, Peter Comerford, a daughter of Droopy's Jetstream Links. She can rock it to the bend. And out in 6 is Swanley Chick, ideally drawn, this lady, a finalist last year. She seems to be coming right back into form. She's well housed on the outside for Jamie McGee and John Edwards. She's a top-class daughter of Law Hill Blake and Kalinin Baby. It's an intriguing contest. It is the second quarterfinal of the Sporting Press Online Edition Irish Oaks.
Thanks a million, Ian. Well, I've backed 2 dogs on the card here this evening, and the first of them runs in this race, Susie Sapphire. I've had a few quid in her at 4-1, and I've also backed Tip Top Taylor at 14s in the next race. So Susie Sapphire would be my nap of the night in what is a very tricky heat. So let's take a look at a couple of these. We're going to start with trap 3, Highview Secure for Patrick Merriman, trained by Jerry Merriman. This one, the Shelbourne Park regular, and returned from a layoff with 2 smart wins in 28.85 and 28.65 recently. Met some trouble last week, but she remains capable of far, far better. She has 2.203 sectionals to her name, and she's another one of these sectionals could see her lead early with the likes of Kilpipe Blue possibly edging out. We're going to take a look now at trap number 5, my nap of the evening, Susie Sapphire. She was an impressive winner of the Puppy Oaks here in May, as Ian mentioned, and she's gradually getting back to her best form. She ran well after a moderate start last week. Look, there are question marks about the draw, but I think if she can trap a level, she could go clear into the bend. She clocked 28.43 last week, having missed the break, and I think there's a 28.30 run in her. Trap 6 then, Swanley Chick. She's returned to somewhere near her best in recent weeks. She was runner-up behind Scooby's Princess and Billy Steva in the last 2 weeks. The draw may well work in her favour, with 5 edging inwards. But this race has the potential to be won and lost at trap rise. Kilpipe Blue can edge to the right when she comes out. She's more than likely to edge to the right. Trap 5, Susie Sapphire can go left from trap rises, but I'm hoping Susie Sapphire can get maybe a level break or a little bit better, and I think she could lead into the bend and maybe clock at 28.30, and it's a catch me if you can. Ian, it's trap 5 for me. It's a fascinating heat. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't a clue. As they get closer to the race, I really don't know what's going to happen. 5 is going to edge inwards, 1 is going to edge to the middle. Could get very squeezy. Swanley Chick is the one with the draw. She's going to need to sharpen up at boxes. I'm sort of coming along your lines of thought that if Susie Sapphire does hit the lids, she might just clear them. And if she clears them, there's a chance of traffic in behind. And we know how fast she is to that third bend. The second quarterfinal of the Sporting Press Online edition, Irish Oaks. 1 Kilpipe Blue, 2 Clonmel Sky, in 3 Highview Secure, 4 Scooby Princess, 5 Susie Sapphire, and 6 Swanley Chick. The start, all important. Racing, good start by 5 Susie Sapphire, dives inwards but gets across from in second 2 Clonmel Sky, then comes 6 Swanley Chick and 3 Highview Secure, but it is Susie Sapphire has raced on by 4 lengths to in second 2 Clonmel Sky, 6 Swanley Chick. Scooby Princess is out the back, but she's starting a motor. Can she qualify? It's 5 Susie Sapphire, 2 Clonmel Sky come next, now 4 Scooby Princess gets up to full stride, but it's all about 5 Susie Sapphire. Brilliant. She burnt them off in the early yards. Second was 4 Scooby Princess. How much ground did she make up? And third is 6 Swanley Chick. She's into another Oaks semi-final. 28-29. A brilliant run by the winner and the runner-up.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, I'm delighted my nap won, but I'm sick with myself. I didn't back her at 16-1 to win it outright. Looking at it all week. Here we go. Let's take a look from trap rise and trap 5. Susie Sapphire. She does take a flyer. Edges inwards. Doesn't really do for any harm. She was clear of her at that stage. Trap 2, Clonmel Sky was forced to check off the back of trap number 5, Susie Sapphire, and Susie Sapphire opens up a decent lead. She's now 5-6 lengths clear. Look at Scooby Princess, not even in shot, but into the third bend. Susie Sapphire, she's still 5 lengths clear of trap 2, Clonmel Sky, with Swanley Chick in third. Keep your eye on Scooby Princess. She does lack a yard of early pace over this trip, but look how she finishes. In fairness to Susie Sapphire, she still wins by 4 lengths in 28-29. The 16-1, it's really annoying me now, Ian, why I didn't take that during the week when she was my nap of the night. But your look, more fool me. Good performance by the front 2.
Yeah, great performance, Susie Sapphire. You know, she was really taking winner of the Puppy Oaks. She's all about early speed. This was the first time in this Oaks that she's actually hit the lids, and well, once she did, she was always going to take some stopping. She flew into the corner, and then the race sort of fell to her because, you know, the right dog was in second in terms of Clonmel Sky, was never going to pick her up. Swanley Chick found herself in a good position to qualify, but then all of a sudden Scooby Princess came from out of the clouds. What a run she has produced. You know, if she's beaten 4 lengths, you know, she's doing 28.57, shall we say, and she's like 14 off the pace or 12 off the pace at the second bend. She's on top of Susie Sapphire at the escape. It was a stunning run by the runner-up, Scooby Princess, but we do know that she lacks a yard of early. Now tonight she didn't get a chance to show any early, and she was sort of left high and dry off the second bend, but stunning run by her to be second. But what a performance by the winner, Susie Sapphire. This is only a November 19. Like, she's raw. She's a raw youngster. She's scarcely a year and a half. She really does have a very, very bright future, and she will strengthen up. She's done 28-29 tonight. It's up there with any performance we've seen on the card. She's a very, very special lady. I'm really looking forward to the semi-finals of the Oaks already. The best 3, you know, in theory have gone through there. The best 3 in the opening heat. If you add in the best three in these next two heats, all of a sudden we're in for very, very special Oaks semi-finals in 7 days' time.
Yeah, fantastic performance by Susie Sapphire. We will definitely touch on that heat again later on in the evening. But it's time for the big one in Clonmel. It is the 2021 Larry O'Rourke Produce Stakes. So dogs are just about to go on parade. I'll give you a quick show of betting first. So we have Explosive Boy is currently your 6-4 favourite. Trap 2 Vallegro is 8-1. 3 Deadly Destroyer is 7-2. In 4 Cash Return at 33-1. Trap 5 Good Cody 9-4. And out in Trap 6 Courtmac Chief at 25-1. The race really does revolve around Courtmac Chief in a way. He can fly from traps, but look, there's nothing sure. He is going to edge towards his left. We've seen Susie Sapphire there in our last race at Shelbourne Park edge left as she came out of traps. This fellow is going to do exactly the same in maybe a more marked fashion. So Good Cody, look, he's undoubtedly the fastest dog in the race in my opinion, but he will need to be on his toes early to clear Courtmac Chief in trap number 6. As we say, of the rest of them, Vallegro and Deadly Destroyer are two fantastic performers in their own right, as too is Cash Return for Brendan Malsell, who won this recently with Cash is King. Explosive Boy, he has the perfect draw tonight. He's looking to get a clear run up the rails, and if he does, he can get around in front maybe post 28-30. It's going to be very, very hard to come from behind him. Hasn't had the best of luck in finals. Of course, he was a beaten finalist in the National Puppy Stake. He was also a beaten finalist when going off favourite in the Con and Annie Kirby 5-5. So I'll just run you through the runners. Explosive Boy, he is of course owned by Peter Sutcliffe in South Australia. He is a son of Good News and Delightful Girl, trained by Patrick Guilfoyle. He's won 10 of his 17 starts. In trap number 2, Vallegro, owned and trained by Paula and Morris Herfinan. He's a son of Ballymacvick and Higher Level. In March 18, he's won 5 of his 16 starts. Ran well behind Good Cody here on May the 22nd. In trap 3, we have Gary Hannon's Deadly Destroyer, trained by Carol Ramsbottom. He's the son of Droopy's Jet and Cruel Intentions. He's won 5 of his 16 starts. In trap number 4, we have Cash Return for Brendan Malson. This one owned by Peter Kelly in Manchester. He is a son of Kinloch Bray and Preter's Queen. He will be one of the outsiders tonight, currently available at 33-1, but we have seen shocks happen in the past before. Trap 5, Good Cody. Well, if you switch to draw with Explosive Boy, he would have certainly went off favourite. He's owned by John Kennedy. He's a son of Definite Opinion and Soho Wark. He's won 4 of his 9 starts, and he's definitely one of Ireland's best. And in trap 6, we have Courtmac Chief for the Billy, John and Jack Syndicate, trained by John Lennon. He's a son of Romeo Recruit and JT China. So as we say, it is going to be tricky to see what Courtmac Chief does early in this race. Ian, I'll just go to you briefly before they head to traps. Good Cody will need to be on his toes early to avoid Courtmac Chief, but Explosive Boy does seem to have a great draw on the fence.
Yeah, he does have a great draw, Explosive Boy. I think from a purist point of view, we want trap 5 Good Cody to hit the ground running, Explosive Boy to hit the ground running, and then just see which is the best dog. If both of those dogs come away racing, there's no reason why Vallegro, Deadly Destroyer, Cash Return and Courtmac Chief can't all get a clear passage. I just want a clean race because the way Good Cody has won the last 2 weeks, we could potentially be watching a true superstar emerging. His run last week was absolutely sensational. Explosive Boy, well, we know how talented he is. He's perfectly drawn on the fence, and this fellow, of course, went so close in the Kirby, just had the bad draw. Deadly Destroyer, a real dog for the future. So too Vallegro. Perhaps those two best over 550 at Shelbourne Park. And Courtmac Chief, he is the key to the race in a way. If he does hit the lids and dive straight inwards, well, Good Cody's need to be at his very sharpest to avoid him. As you can see, they are going to traps.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, no change to the betting. Explosive Boy still your 6-4 favourite, 9-4 Good Cody. As Ian did say, yeah, we do all want to see a clean race. It does all depend on how trap 6 Courtmac Chief comes out. Explosive Boy, as we know, he can fly from traps. If he gets one of his flyers up the rails, he should post 28-30 from the front. But that could leave the likes of clear run for Vallegro and Deadly Destroyer in behind. We're going to go to Ian for the commentary of the Larry O'Rourke National Produce Stakes. Ian, over to you.
Our main feed is down, so I'm going to have to give you the commentary. For this, the final of the Larry O'Rourke National Produce Stakes. In 1 Explosive Boy, 2 Vallegro, 3 Deadly Destroyer, 4 Cash Return, 5 Good Cody and 6 Courtmac Chief. Hair up behind traps. Racing, good start by 6 Court McChief. He bumps Good Cody, but he gets away with it. And it's Explosive Boy from Good Cody. Nip and tuck into the corner. The race we wanted to see, but Explosive Boy goes on by 2.5, 3 lengths now to Vallegro, forcing his way through to challenge in second, but out front, an Explosive Boy leads to the third bend. He's got 3.5 in hand to Vallegro, giving chase now in second, and he's closing rapidly. It's Explosive Boy from Vallegro. Explosive Boy up the home straight will claim the Produce Stakes. Second is Trap 2, Vallegro. It looks like 3 Deadly Destroyer may have got third, but Explosive Boy has claimed the big title his talent so richly deserved. Congratulations to Pat Guilfoyle and to Peter Sutcliffe. The winning time 28-28. Massive run by the winner and a massive run by the runner-up.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, massive congratulations to Peter Sutcliffe and Pat Guilfoyle. Let's take a look at it from the start. Good Cody did get away with Court McChief coming inside him, but look at Explosive Boy. Gets one of his good starts and races strongly to the bend. He gets himself maybe 2.5 lengths clear down the back straight, and once he's in front, he's a very tough cookie to pass. He's a strong enough sort in front. He's increased the lead to 4 lengths here at the third bend. Vallegro showed huge pace to get up the inside of Good Cody into the third bend, and he's challenging all the way up the home straight, but Explosive Boy just has enough to hold on by a rapidly diminishing half a length or a neck. And as I mentioned, he was unlucky in a couple of finals, the National Puppy Stake final and the Con and Andy Kirby final. So I'm delighted for Pat Guilfoyle and for Peter Sutcliffe. Vallegro ran a blinder in second. Joe, cracking performance from Explosive Boy, 28-28.
We've said it so many times before, Barry. Explosive by name, explosive by nature. 28-28, a fantastic performance by Explosive Boy, and I don't think you'll find anyone to begrudge Pat Guilfoyle and Peter Sutcliffe the success of the Larry O'Rourke Produce Stakes. You know, he came into the Kirby final a real warm favourite, and things just didn't go his way that night, but really made amends for tonight. Bombed the outer traps, got that lovely run up the fence. Good Cody, perhaps he might have run his final last week doing 28-09, just didn't show that kind of sparkle, and he had the chance there. It was wide open for him, but Explosive Boy was so impressive. Magnificent performance. Vallegro, a real strong stayer. I thought at one stage maybe Vallegro was going to stay on, but Explosive Boy, they all had the opportunity to come at him, was so impressive. And Deadly Destroyer, who ran on from 5th place to come 3rd, he's a very, very strong stayer as well. And you know, it's such a top quality field. It was such a brilliant Produce Stakes, and as I say, I don't think you'll find anyone to begrudge Pat Guilfoyle and Peter Sutcliffe this success. Of course, Patrick Guilfoyle won this in 2019 with Greyhound 10, so it's competition he has won before and has now won his 2nd Produce Stakes. And congratulations to all connections, and of course a massive warm thank you to our sponsor Larry O'Rourke.
Thanks a million, Joe. Yeah, great race, and all those dogs have huge futures going forward, so congratulations once again to Peter Sutcliffe and Pat Guilfoyle. So we're on to our 3rd quarter final of the Sporting Press Online Edition Irish Oaks here from Shelbourne Park, and I'll just run you through the parade. Of course, we have no runner in Trap 3. Ballymac Orna is a non-runner, so it's a 5-dog affair. And we start with Trap 1, Black Eyed Alice. She's a daughter of Droopy Stud and Law Hill Alice. She's owned and trained by Mrs. Mary B. Curtin and Mrs. Ruth Curtin. In Trap 2, we have the defending champion, Ballymac Beanie. This one is owned by Mrs. Kira Veriker and trained by Declan Byrne. She's won 9 of her 13 starts, a daughter of Ballymac Matt and Coolavani Pet. Trap 3 is a non-runner. That brings us on to Trap 4, Sinfonia, owned by Miss Pamela Holt from New Inn and trained by Owen McKenna. He had the trainer of Susie Sapphire. This one's a daughter of Law Hill Blake and the Great Fear of Mosky. In Trap 5, my second of my bets here this evening, Tip Top Taylor. She's a daughter of Droopy Sydney and Merlefield Taylor, owned and trained by Paul Ryan in County Wexford. And out in Trap 6, we have the big finisher, Kevin Proctor's Front Amani. This one trained by Robert Gleeson. She's a daughter of Sonic and Rural Aloha. She's currently your 7-4 second favourite. So let's take a look at a couple of these in a little bit more detail. We will start with Trap 2, Ballymac Beanie. As I did mention, she is the defending champion. She's 2 from 2 since returning from her winter break, and she's looked every bit as good. She's 1 from 1 around here in Trap 2, and a level break should see her lead to the bend. She's bidding to become only the 3rd bitch in history to win back-to-back Oaks, so best of luck to her. Out in Trap 5, Tip Top Taylor. This one, she ran a blinder last week behind Ballymac Art. She showed good early pace and kept going all the way. She may have a decent draw here tonight. There's not much pace on her left and her right, and any trouble on her inside could play into this one's paws at a decent price I had a few quid on today at about 14 to 1. There's not much 14 to 1 knocking around now at the moment. And out in trap 6 we have Front Amani. She's an exceptionally fast pitch, this one. She can be inconsistent at the start, but if she can get into a half decent position as they enter the back straight, then you can really watch out. She does fly home. For me, she can show a little bit of early after maybe 50 or 60 yards and get herself into a decent pitch. She will be finishing fastest of all. Well, maybe Sinfonia will be coming home just as strongly, but I expect her to be a little further behind. I seen on social media this week, Ian, you also commented on the social media post, Paul Ryan put up a clip of Tip Top Taylor coming up a gallop. And believe it or not, I went back and had a look at her last run, and seeing her coming up the gallop, she came up hard, and that was really what made me have a few quid in her here tonight. She ran well behind Ballymac Art last week, but in that piece of work that Paul Ryan put up on social media during the week, she flew up. She looks in real good form.
I can see why the makeup would suit her. If Black Eyed Alice does hit the lids on the inside, there's every chance that herself and Ballymacbeanie might just bump, and with Sinfonia not likely to go up fast and Front of Manny lacking perhaps a yard or two early, there is a chance that Tip Top Taylor might just sneak around on the outside and go to the front. She has been running so well for Paul Ryan. It'd be a great story for him to get a bitch into the semi-finals of the Oaks. Whether she does or not, well, she has really produced to this point, so they have nothing to lose. But as you can see, they are going to traps. Listen, it's hard to oppose Ballymacbeanie. She really is a class performer. She's the defending champion, of course, bidding to become just the third bitch in history to successfully defend her Oaks title. Front of Manny, though, is an absolute powerhouse. Stunning pace, stunning stamina. She's one that I think will really compete well against the dogs later in the year in the likes of the Derby. This trip is perhaps a bit sharp for her, but at the same time it's only a 5-dog affair. There will be a little bit of extra space, and she gets a run at them. She won't be too far away. But as you can see, they're in traps now for this intriguing third heat of the Sporting Press Online edition Irish Oaks. And so to Heat 3 of the Sporting Press Online edition Irish Oaks. In 1, Black Eyed Alice. 2, Ballymacbeanie. Trap 3 is vacant. 4, Sinfonia. 5, Tip Top Taylor. And 6 is Front of Manny. The hare up behind traps. Racing, good start by Beanie, absolutely flew out. In contrast, Tip Top Taylor completely left at boxes. It's Ballymacbeanie now one up the inside. Black Eyed Alice just holds up Front of Manny. That could be crucial. It's Ballymacbeanie on by 2.5, but Front of Manny is really poising a threat in second spot to that third bend. It's 2, Ballymacbeanie, but here comes a Manny on the outside, and Front of Manny strikes the front. Stunning run from her. In second is 2, Ballymacbeanie, loses nothing in defeat, and third is 4, Sinfonia. The winning time 28:34. Front of Manny. Well, once she turned as close as she did, she was going to take some stopping. Ballymacbeanie again running her heart out in second, and Sinfonia coming from out of the clouds to qualify in third. 28:34 the winning time.
Thanks a million, Ian. Have a look at this one again. Yeah, Front of Manny, she's coming away a little bit better, and as I mentioned before the race, she does show a bit of pace after maybe 40 or 50 yards staying out wide. Ballymacbeanie, the defending champion, took a flyer, and she leads by 2 lengths into the back straight ahead of Black Eyed Alice, who's definitely a promising youngster to keep on your side. But here we go, she's never really this close, really, is Front of Manny, and it was all over once she got a clear run around the outside. Turning for home, Ballymacbeanie is still running well, running strong in second place, but there's not many can hold Front of Manny when she's that close, and she stretches on to win by maybe 3 lengths. Sinfonia running on well back in third, and Tip Top Taylor, I put the mockers on that one, she completely missed the break. But Front of Manny, she's starting to show a little bit more early pace in. It's a cracking race between the two of them. You can see it there, they come out quick but not that quick, but it's a good performance from Front of Manny again. Connection to Ballymacbeanie will be happy with the run in second place, and Owen McKenna will be delighted to get another one through as well.
Front of Manny. Just looking at the split 216, I wonder did they charge boxes, and that's why 5 completely walked out of traps. My heart goes to Paul Ryan. Like, you don't mind getting beaten in an Oaks quarter final, but you like to have a chance, and she's completely left behind. But 2, Ballymacbeanie, she leads from the start. They hadn't plated the track prior to this contest. I wonder if she's just hitting a bit of a loose spot. She didn't really get racing as quick as she can around those opening 2 bends. She didn't really stretch away in Front of Manny once turning as close as she did. Well, we said it before the race, she has the pace and power to challenge the very best dogs, never mind bitches in training. She's one to watch later in the year in the likes of the Derby, but for the moment she's a major player in the Sporting Press Online edition Irish Oaks. We've got 9 names in the quarter or in the semi-finals already, and they're 9 special greyhounds, 9 special ladies. This Oaks is really coming to a boil at just the right time. It's going to be absolutely intriguing next week, and the final could be an absolute epic.
Yeah, we have 9 fabulous bitches into the hat already, and 3 more to join them in about 10 or 12 minutes time. We will hopefully have the draw for the semi-final with you before we head off air this evening. So next up over in Toaster, we have another first round heat of the English Derby. We have 3 Irish ones in this one. The Machine, as we were speaking about earlier on, runs Cameco for the sponsor of our Produce Stakes. Larry O'Rourke also runs, and we also have Ballymac Fair One, who Ian Fortune has a little whisper for, running from trap 3. She's currently 6-4, second favourite behind Machine at 11-8. So we're back down to Clonmel after that fabulous performance from Explosive Foy. Our next race is the Riverside Kennels A2 550, of course sponsored by Riverside Kennels in Golden. Graham, Holland and all the team, we thank them for their sponsorship. So let's just take a quick show of betting. You have on the inside Bombay Joe. He's currently your 2-1 favourite. You can see him there, 6-5 on the Barking Buzz. Mallow Stormzy is even money on Barking Buzz there, just in behind him, and it is 4-1 bar. So let's just quickly run through the runners here in this race. Of course, is €845 to the winner of this race. As we can see, I think Graham Holland has he has Mallow Stormzy in this race, so he'll be looking to win his own race again. This one is for the sponsor Larry O'Rourke in Ascot, also owned by Tom Morris Rowe. So they're just about to come on parade. So there you have trap 1. He is your race favourite, Bombay Joe, owned by the Parachute Syndicate. They also train this one. He's the son of Ballymac Best and brilliant bitch Ballydoyle Honey. We're on the topic of the Oaks. I think she won the Oaks here in 2015, if I'm not mistaken. In trap 2 we have Gunboat Premier, owned and trained by Sean Kenny. This one is the son of Droopy Stud and Dynamic Trend. He's won 1 of his 5 starts. Trap 3, Mallow Stormzy for Larry O'Rourke and Tom Morris Rowe, trained by Graham Holland. He's the son of Droopy Roddick and Emer's Poppy. He's won 4 of his 14 starts. In trap 4 we have Woodbrook Laurel for Phil Collins, son of Lahill Blake and Kilbarry Sharp. Won 5 of his 32 starts. Out in trap 5 we have the Dennis McCarthy owned and trained Springwood Joy. She's a daughter of Droopy's Jet and Allodale Nokia. She's won 1 of her 12 starts. And finally, out in trap 6, the Lost in Transit Syndicate in Dublin. They own On Your Way, and this fellow was trained by Rachel Wheeler. He's a son of Ballymac Matt and High Street Jesse. So let's quickly take a look at a couple of these in closer detail. We will start with trap 1, Bombay Joe. He was the fastest semi-final winner last week, making all in 30-21 for the 550 trip. He's perfectly drawn. He knows the place well. Still not 2-year-old yet, and there should be more to come. We look now at Mallow Stormzy. Mallow Stormzy for the sponsors, Graham Holland, and our big race sponsor, of course, Larry O'Rourke. Got up close home in a thrilling finish here 7 days ago. You just touch off trap 5 with trap 2, a half a length back in third. It was a fabulous semi-final. Now that brings us on to Springwood Joy in trap number 5. For the bitch with a record of 1 from 12, she showed real battling qualities here last week. She was joined on the run for home, and it looked as though I think it was Gunboat Premier and Mallow Stormzy were going to fly by her on either side, but she battled on really well all the way up the home straight to just go down by a head. Her draw's not ideal tonight, but she's not without a chance. So that's the runners for our 8th race down in Clonmel. Joe, I'm going to side with Bombay Joe in trap 1, 3 maybe to be second. What are your thoughts, Joe?
Well, fantastically named Bombay Joe, and Barry, you mightn't be wrong, it was a fantastic performance by Bombay Joe last week, winning in 30-21, staying on in a clock of 13.81, which showed his staying prowess. Has that trap 1, and of course look at his dam, Ballydoyle Honey. What a remarkable bitch she was. She won the Oak, she won over 600, was a real lovely staying bitch, and from trap 1, Bombay Joe has to probably be a worthy favourite of this race. But trap number 3 is Mallow Stormzy, and of course he won in the first round of this year's Con and Annie Kirby in 28.70. In that occasion in Limerick, he came home from the third bend in 12.25, which is very, very good staying clock in Limerick. To put into context, the likes of Explosive Boy was doing 12.20, 12.21 coming home from the third bend, so not too far off him. Probably between the two of them for me. And we're heading over to Ian for the commentary.
Yeah, indeed, double jobbing here tonight. This is the final of the Riverside Kennels A2 550. The runners in 1, Bombay Joe, 2, Gunboat Premier, 3, Mallow Stormzy, 4, Woodbrook Laurel, 5, Springwood Joy, and 6 is On Your Way. Here up behind traps. And racing, good start by trap 3. Malog Stormzy leads to the bend. 2 Gumbo Premier poised in the inside and second. Into the bend, it's 3 Malog Stormzy, but Gumbo Premier has the inside line. 5 is third, Springwood Joy, Bombay Joe. Then comes 4 Woodbuck Laurel, and on your way out the tail. But 3 Malog Stormzy now moves on by 2, but 2 Gumbo Premier coming back for more up the inside. In third spot is 1 Bombay Joe. It's 3 Malog Stormzy's left the gap open for 2 Gumbo Premier, who hits the front, and Gumbo Premier will win for Sean Kenny. It's desperately tied for second. It looks like 1 Bombay Joe may have got up in the closing yards there, of course, to the second winning line, and 3 Malog Stormzy third. But a good winner, Gumbo Premier, too strong in the finish, 30-12 the winning time.
Yeah, congratulations to Sean Kenny with Gumbro Premier. Let's take a look at it again. A flying start from Malog Stormzy for Larry O'Rourke, but Gumbro Premier goes up well up the inside of Malog Stormzy. Into the back straight, Malog Stormzy takes a length lead halfway down as they hit halfway down the back straight and increases it now to 2 lengths. But Gumbo Premier, we've seen him come home well here last week when in behind Malog Stormzy. Trap 1 running well in toward Bombay Joe after missing the kick off the last bend. As I mentioned, we've seen Gumbo Premier come home well last week, and once he was in this position he was always going to go away and win by maybe 2 lengths, beating Malog Stormzy, who was bidding to give his owner a quick fire double. He had Chemico just win over in the last heat of the English Derby. More about that in a second. The machine qualified as well as Ballymac Fair One. So Joe, good performance there from Gumbo Premier. Came home well to land the spoils.
Very, very good performance by Gunboat Premier, of course, for Sean Kenny of Borrisalee. A 28.91 debut winner in Thurles, and that just goes to show the class that this animal has. Was very, very impressive. Bombay Joe ran on so impressively, was probably last at one stage. To take second was a magnificent performance, and Bombay Joe, this July 19 whelp, there's an awful lot to look forward to with him. Malog Stormzy proved to be ultimately disappointing. I guess he had it there for the taking, went out wide, let other greyhounds up his inside, and was probably a disappointing third. But yeah, all about our winner Gunboat Premier, in April 19 whelp, and sure to be an awful lot more to come from this greyhound. Gunboat Premier taking our Riverside Kennels 8-2-550 sweep. A very exciting race.
Thanks a million, Joe. So just briefly catching up on our last heat of the English Derby in Toaster, we had 3 Irish runners, and again we had another 1, 2, 3, but Chemico won the race. The machine a little bit lost around the first bend, but he flew home to take, I think he just got second, and trap 3 Ballymac Fair One was back in third. Ian, before they go on commentary here at or on Parade at Shelbourne Park, I know you were commentating at Clonmel at the time, but did you get a chance to look back at the machine's heat?
I did, yeah, I got to see it. Chemico went up fast, moved to the middle of the track. Ballymac Fair One looked like a likely challenger into the third bend. He couldn't quite get through the gap and sort of get held up. Meanwhile, the machine had, as you said, got lost around the opening 2 bends and got racing after them. He ran on very strongly to finish a close second, with Ballymac Fair One just back in third. But, Chemico got to the front, repelled Ballymac Fair One around the last 2 bends, went on to win. I just wouldn't be surprised if the seating panel did look at him, maybe try and reseed him to middle. But no, great to see an Irish 1, 2, 3 again. At this stage, I'm not sure the UK contingent are too happy with us. I'll be continuing to turn the knife now in the coming days. Very strong Irish challenge, and by all accounts, it's still as strong as it was. We've lost 1 or 2 big names, but very few. Our challenge is really standing up to the scrutiny of the opening round. Meanwhile, here at Shelbourne Park, the runners now on parade for Heat 4 of the Sporting Press Irish Oaks, the online edition Irish Oaks, and one is Battle Cry, owned by Patricia McGrath, trained by Paul Hennessy, a powerful daughter of Sparta Maestro and Brinkley Stella. Next in 2 is Razzle Dazzle Maya for Michael Delaney and Neelis O'Connell, a daughter of Makeshift and Razzle Dazzle Prue. 3 is Kitty's Roddick, fine winner last week for Keith Powell and William Stacey, a daughter of Droopy Roddick and Marwood Bray. Connections would take your fingers off for a similar start to last week. 4 is Highview Magnet, owned and trained by Dolores Merriman. This daughter of Patsy Sabbath and Highview Idol can really rocket from traps, goes up strongly. 5 Highview Lemon for Jerry Merriman, Paddy Merriman, a daughter of JT Jet and Highview Daisy. And completing the lineup in the striped jacket, we have Right So Bell for Sean Corrigan, care of Agent Denton. This is a daughter of Law Hill Blake in nostalgia, well housed in the stripes and perhaps perfectly drawn to make a bold bid. It is the final heat of the Sporting Press online edition Irish Oaks. They'll be on the way to traps soon. Get involved.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. It probably is the slightly easier of the 4 quarter-finals so far. Let's take a look at a couple of these. We'll start off with Paul Hennessy's Battle Cry. He trains this one for Patricia McGrath in Clonmel. She's a daughter of Sparta Maestro and Brinkley Stella. She's been a great servant over the years. Won 7 of her 36 starts. As I say, she's really likeable. And she's been running well in here the last couple of weeks. She does tend to get tapped for a little bit of early, but the rail will help her tonight. Look, none will finish faster, and she can hold her pitch early. She should qualify. She should have a good chance of qualifying. We'll look at Trap 4 now. Highview Magnet. She's another really likeable youngster. She's won a couple of times on Talking Dogs TV already this year. She's capable of a fast start. Trap 4 is probably her lane of running, and she's not without a chance. Just tend to hit a flat spot into the third bend, but stays on strongly enough. She's been running really well, as I mentioned, around here. The 28.54 win and only her third or fourth start. We'll now look at Right So Bell. This one, she's a consistent bitch. She's had 20 top 2 finishes from her 45 starts. She gave Ballymacbeanie a good race here last year in the Winter Racing Festival. She can fly to the turn on her day, and she made the semi-finals of the Oaks last year. She's every chance of making the semi-final again this year. She's actually won 8 of her 10 races from Trap 6. And before we have a look at a couple of the others, Debbie O'Rourke has just been in touch with me to let me know that one of our trios earlier on paid a massive €625. So look, as we've mentioned, it's well worth getting involved. That's a huge dividend, €625. So just back to this before they go to Traps. Highview Magnet is currently your 9-4 favourite, but as I say, don't be afraid to get involved on the Barking Buzz app. €625, what a trio. That'll pay for a weekend away shortly when everything gets back to normal. So we're on our last quarter final. I'm going to side with Trap 6 here, Ian, to make all right. So Bell. Highview Magnet can go up well. Battle Cry, she can trap fairly well, but does lack a yard of early pace, but she will be coming again towards the finish. I'll go at 6 to beat 1 here, Ian. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I went in print and tipped up Right So Bell wherever I was writing about the Oaks. Just as they get closer to the race, I'm just sort of drawn to Kitty's Roddick. I thought she was very taking last week. I know it wasn't the fastest, 28.63, but she really bounded out of boxes and she just kept finding out front. She even checked up at the third bend, so she probably lost a bit of ground. If she does hit the ground running like she did last week, I think she'll play a big part in proceedings. But Right So Bell is without question the best drawn dog in the race. One will move off and it could be a bit tight in the middle, but no, I'll go with Kitty's Roddick as we come to the off. Well, runners in traps now for Heat 4 of the Sporting Press Online Edition. Irish Oaks 1, Battle Cry 2, Razzle Dazzle Maya 3 is Kitty's Roddick, and 4, Highview Magnet 5, Highview Lemon 6 is Right So Bell. Racing, good start by Trap 6 at the outside, Right So Bell, and 5 Highview Lemon, but Right So Bell now showing in front. 4 Highview Magnet shows good early dash to clear the bend. 6 Right So Bell seems to be clipped from behind slightly. That's second. Now 5 Highview Lemon moves into second spot or disputes it, but it's still 4 Highview Magnet that leads into that third bend. Highview Lemon in second, a 1-2 for the Merrimans. 6 Right So Bell in third, looking to hold on to a qualifying spot, but it's Highview Magnet leads up the line and will score from 5 Highview Lemon. It looks like 2 Razzle Dazzle Maya was third. It is close up front, but it looks like Highview Magnet and Highview Lemon in that order. Maybe just in case go to the judge. The winning time 28.76.
Thanks, Ian. Well, huge congratulations to the Merrimans there, 1-2 in the quarter-final of an Oaks. Let's pick it up from Trap Rise. 6 didn't break great, but shows good early pace to get to the bend. 4, in fairness to her, Highview Magnet shows real good early pace. She's a bitch we've seen a few times here on Talking Dogs TV. And down into the third bend, as we mentioned before the race, she tends to hit a bit of a flat spot into the third bend, and you can see the field are all closing up. They get within about a length and a half, maybe a little bit less of her, but as she straightens up, she runs on well, and I've seen that here before off her. She's only a very young bitch. That's now 4 wins from her 7 starts. Just holds on from her kennel companion, Highview Lemon. So it's huge congratulations to the Merrimans. Razzle Dazzle Maya was back in third. So we now know our lineup for the semi-final. Get to the trap draw with you shortly. I'm going to hand you back to Joe in Clonmel. I'm sure he's joined by a delighted winning trainer. Over to you, Joe.
We're absolutely delighted to be joined by Patrick Ilfoyle. Patrick, you won't find anyone that will begrudge you this victory. Of course, went into the curb being strong favourite, and I'm delighted that you won tonight. How are you feeling after winning this year's Produce Stakes?
Thanks, Joe. We're delighted. We won it 2 years ago without a Greyhound pen, so this dog is equally as good as him, I'd say. So yeah, it was lovely. It was a nice one to win, you know. every little bit helps to make up for the Kirby. Not going to make up for losing for that Kirby night, but it helps, yeah.
Coming into the race, you had Trap 1. What's your thoughts before the race? You must have been...
We were happy, very happy with the draw, you know. I mean, he has run well from Trap 1 in the past, and in a field of 6 railers, Trap 1 is a good place to be. And he hadn't been breaking here though during the project days. That was a bit of a concern, but he popped out lovely tonight. So he ran brilliant. So he did. We're delighted with him.
Last year's Produce Stakes winner, Ewan Taylor, went on to go for the Derby. Is that the route you're going to take, Pat?
We'll see. We'll probably aim at it anyway. You know, I'd say he'd be all out over 550 though, but we'll see how he goes. You know. So.
Do you think he'll stay from the third bend home? He's probably clocking. Well, in Limerick he was doing about 12:20. Do you think he'll get to 550?
I'm not sure. We'll see now. We'll see. We might know next weekend. Don't be surprised if you see him in the Race of Champions in Tralee. And so we'll see. Yeah, it's hard now. You just don't know what you put them over really, like, you know. So we'll definitely give it a go anyway and see. Absolutely. Yeah.
We might have to make up a new song for you for Explosive Boy for winning the Produce Stakes. To you and to all connections in the Peter Sutcliffe, we're delighted with you, Patrick. Well done.
Appreciate that. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Joe, can you give us a couple of bars of that song, Joe, that you're talking about, Explosive Boy? Just very quickly now. I don't want to hear too much, Joe. Just maybe, go on, give us 2 bars. Go on.
Barry, I have to be well prepared. I can't just be put in the spot like that. But you're a superstar in the music industry, you know. You need to have a bit of time and preparation, warm up the voice and all that kind of thing. But perhaps we could do a song about Explosive Boy when the Produce Stakes. It was such a class act.
Joe Sheahan there, a singer-songwriter who doesn't like to sing. You want to just change that to songwriter, Joe, if you don't want to sing. This is your platform, live on TV, and you refused it. Right, race 9 at Clonmel, second last race on the card down there. It is, of course, the Galloping Kennels A2 525, sponsored by Mr. Pat Reid in Clonmel. Thank you very much, Pat, for your kind sponsorship of the Galloping Kennels A2 525. So currently we have joint favourites. We have Knock Skipper at 9-4 and Pepe Le Pew at 9-4. Pepe Le Pew, seen him win a semi-final here last week. He's a great record around Clonmel. I think he's 8 starts in Clonmel. He's 5 wins, a second and a third. He'll be looking to lead all the way here this evening from trap number 4. So let's have a run through the runners on parade. You can just see them in the infield there, making your way up towards the parade for our 9th race. Just to keep you informed, the 927 at Toaster has a couple more Irish representatives in it. We have Angry Dad running in trap 3. We also have Hello Hammond, Rope Walk Boy, who was trained by Liam O'Rourke. We're going to claim him as Irish. He'd be running in that heat also. I was talking to Debbie O'Rourke earlier on, and she's hopeful that Rope Walk Boy can qualify. He'll be coming back to the kennel after his tilt at the Derby, so the best of luck to Debbie, Liam, and I think it's Nathan Hunt as the new trainer over there. So the runners now are on parade at Clonmel for race 9, the Galloping Kennels A2 525, and in trap 1 we have the Dennis McCarthy owned and trained Springwood Salah. He's a son of Droopy Stud, and Allodale and Nokia won 3 of his 15 starts. Trap 4 we have Sean Leahy and Thomas Norton's Black Summer, a daughter of Lawhill Bolt and on Colleen Dove, yet to win in her 6 starts but has finished second and third 4 times. In trap 3 we have Robert Finn's Knock Skipper. He's a son of Droopy's Cane and Heaven's Lily, won 3 of his 10 starts. In your shot there now we have the aforementioned Pepe Le Pew, owned and trained by Arthur Morrissey in Golden. He's a son of Droopy's Jet and Absolutely Ace. He's won 5 of his 10 starts. Big Boy in trap 5 here, Narrabane Wonder tips the scales at £83. He's owned and trained by Gerard Langan and Andrew Delahunty. He's a son of Skywalker Farlow, and Loch Saoirse won 5 of his 12 races, has a nice card. And finally out in trap 6 for Mary O'Connor we have Minor Droopy. She's a daughter of Droopy's Jet and Minor Racer. They're your runners for race 9, the Galloping Kennels A2 525. So let's take a look at a couple of these in a little closer detail. We will start with trap 1, Springwood Salah for Dennis McCarthy. Has some fine form around here in the past, including a 28.66 one last August. He returned from a layoff last week when running on well behind trap 3. He can go up better and he's not without a chance. Won 3 times and 2 of his wins have come from trap number 1. In trap 3, Knock Skipper, a joint favourite for Robert Finn, made all for a wide margin success in last week's semi-final, and he's a good chance to lead up the inside 2 tonight. The race to the bend early with the outside runners is crucial, and he will need to hold Pepe Le Pew early for win purposes. That brings us on to Pepe Le Pew for Arthur Morrissey. As I say, a dog we've mentioned here before on Talking Dogs TV. Ran in the early rounds of the Produce Stakes. He has a fantastic 16-12 here for a sprint. Made all for a personal best in 28.78 last week. 8 starts, 5 wins around Clonmel. They're all loaded up in down in Clonmel for race number 9. So we're going to pass over to Eddie for the commentary.
We're all set for the final of the Galloping Kennels. 8, 2, 5 to 5 and 1 Springwood Salah, 2 Black Summer, 3 Knox Skipper, 4 Pepe Le Pew, 5 Narrabin, Wonder 6 Minor Droopy. Here's behind Traps. And away they go, and as Trap Trio takes a flyer. Knox Skipper leads up by a length from 2 and second, 1 and third. As they go to the corner, a bit of trouble. 1 and 4 lose a lot of ground, and as Trap Trio leads into the back, Knox Skipper by a length from Black Summer. It looks between these two. They pull 5 lengths, 6 lengths clear of Trap 1 and third. That's Springwood Salah. At the third bend with a split of 16-24, it continues to be Knox Skipper. 2 stayed strongly last week, but he's 2 lengths to make up as they turn for home. Trap 3 kicks on again and wins very impressively. 2 second and 1 third. 3, 2 and 1 for your trio. The winning time 28.66.
Thanks a million, Eddie. Congratulations to Robert Finn. 28.66, a fine performance from his Knox Skipper. Now 4 wins from 11 starts. Let's take a look at this from the start. Pepe Le Pew was expected to make the early running, missed the break. He was always on the back foot from then, but in fairness, the Knox Skipper comes away well, shows good early pace and leads by 2 lengths into the bend. Black Summer, the maiden, in second, gives heavy chase down the back straight. He's about a length and a quarter down, but Knox Skipper stretches that lead to maybe 2 lengths as they hit the third bend. 2 Black Summer switches to the inside here, and as Eddie said in commentary, looked as though he was going to make a strong challenge, but in fairness to Robert Finn's Knox Skipper, he straightened up and he runs on really strongly in 28.66. Bit unfortunate for Black Summer, yet to win a race, maybe clocking 28.80, but I'm sure he will have better days ahead. He's only in August 19. Joe, good performance there by the winner, but the runner-up yet to win a race in 7, but I'm sure he'll have his day.
Yeah, Barry, absolutely. Knox Skipper, very, very impressive winner. That's 11 starts and 4 wins, which is a very, very good strike rate. June 19, well, so still quite young, only 2 this month. To do 28.66 around Clonmel, it takes quite a fast greyhound, so definitely for connections of Knox Skipper Robert Finn, it's very exciting times. Certainly Black Summer, as you say, still a maiden, still without a win, but lost absolutely nothing in defeat. Ran on exceptionally well to finish second. And Springwood Salah, of course, for Dennis McCarthy from Mallow, just returning from a bit of a layoff, coming third. Remarkably, our last 3 races, the trio have been 1, 2 and 3, well, always in different orders for our last 3 races. I haven't seen that in a while. All 3 trios have been 1, 2 and 3. It'll be amazing to see if that could continue. But Knox Skipper, all about him in our Galloping Kennels 525 A2 final, of course, kindly sponsored by the Creed family.
Thanks a million, Joe. Yeah, easy as 1, 2, 3 in Clonmel for the last few races. So we now know our 12 semi-finalists in the Sporting Press online edition Irish Oaks, and as soon as I have the trap draw, I will pass it on to you. Look, we've seen some of the most fancy ones go through in the Oaks, and in the last 25 years in the Oaks, we've had 10 winning favourites. Amazingly enough, we only had 1 winner at a double figure odds, and that was Pat Guilfoyle's Miss Firecracker in, I think it was 2007. She won it at odds of 10 to 1. We've just seen Pat win with Explosive Boy. Of course, the shortest price winner would have been Ballydoyle Honey. She went off at very skinny odds of 1 to 5. I'm sure Ian is a big fan of Ballydoyle Honey. She was a cracking bitch in her time. So Ian, as soon as we have the trap draw, we will pass it on. But I'll pass over to you for the parade for race 10.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. As you can see, they're making their way onto parade for this 10th race. Just reflecting, we've seen 4 tremendous quarterfinals of the Sporting Press Online Edition Irish Oaks, and yeah, 2 unbelievable semi-finals, I'm sure, to look forward to next week, and an even better final 7 days later. So lots to look forward to in this Sporting Press Online Edition Irish Oaks. On to this 10th race here tonight at Shelbourne. The Trio Open 551 Amadeus Luke for Charles Colgan and Justin Colgan, a son of Patsy Sabbath and Glenn Lee. 2 is Strictly Flow, owned by George Roach, a son of Kingsmill Messi and Kingsmill Flow. Of course, Georgie already had a winner here tonight. 3 is Glendalough for Liam Curley, a son of Patsy Sabbath and Glenn Lee. He's won 3 of his 7. 4 is Montine Maestro for Rachel Wheeler and Richard Wheeler, a son of Sparta Maestro and Mingler Suarez. 5 Bogger Bella for Liam Peacock, a daughter of Vimmerby and Slaney-side Comet. And out in 6 is Butsy's Best, seeking to complete a double for both owner and trainer Jerry Holian and the Butsy's Buckos Syndicate. This is a son of Ballymac Best and Kalikal Tommy. It's an intriguing affair. The 10th race on your card. They'll be going to trap shortly.
Thanks a million, Ian. Just to keep you up to date on happenings over at Toaster in the English Derby. One of the English Big Hopes, 10 Pin, just ran there in the last heat. I think he might have finished second or third. Did miss the break badly. Showed good pace to get into contention down the back straight, but he's safely into the draw for next week. Just watching a replay here, yeah, I think he got second, but look, he's into the draw for next week. Race 10 here at Shelbourne Park. It is the Trio open 550. And why not try a trio, as we mentioned, one of the dividends earlier on this evening, €625. So we're going to take a look at a couple of these in closer detail. Amethyst Luke, or Amethyst Luke, I remember the dog going back here a couple of years ago. Amethyst Slippy. There was a big debate, is it Amethyst, Amethyst? We'll go with what Ian Fortune says. He made a big impact at the start of his career, winning his first two starts, 17.76 in his debut in Newbridge, and then followed up with 28.67 over 5.25 here on his four-bend debut. No show over slightly further here last week, but he remains open to any amount of improvement, and he's well drawn on the fence. That's number one, Amethyst Luke. Next one we look at is Mountain Maestro for Richard Wheeler, trained by Rachel Wheeler. He arrived unbeaten in Shelbourne Park last month, having won 4 from 4 around Waterford, and he ran well to finish second on his Shelbourne Park debut, went second all the way. He improved on that when winning in this grade here on the 21st of May. He's now 5 from 6 in his career. The trip looks fine, and he's clearly in good form. And out in trap 6, the Butsy's Best Syndicate, Butchie's Best. He's a son of Ballymac Best, Killy Kiltammy. He was an impressive winner of a strong looking A2 with us on Talking Dogs TV here on May the 15th. Missed a break and made a bit of trouble in running last week, but he remains with potential, and a fast start here the way the track is running tonight. I can see this lad maybe clocking 29.65, 29.70, and if he leads in that sort of time, he will be hard to pick up. Of the rest, Strictly Flow from George Roach. George looking for a double here this evening. Has been generally consistent performer on the past couple of years. He's won 4 of his last 8 actually, possibly a career best last time when winning in Enniscorthy in 28.69 over 5.25. He starts and stays. You have to win in Shelbourne Park, but this is only his third start here in Shelbourne Park. They're about to go to traps. Ian, are we going to go with Amethyst or Amethyst? Or I'm sure you remember Amethyst Slippy back in the mid 90s. He was a tremendous dog around here.
Yeah, it was one of the great prefixes here at Shelbourne Park for quite some time. Some really good dogs carrying the Amethyst, as far as I'm concerned. I didn't call it Amethyst. It was always Amethyst. I was never corrected by the Elfla. So I'm going to stick with it. As you say yourself, I'm 30 years calling it Amethyst, so there's no reason to change. It's a cracking little contest, this 550. Claims could be made for a number of them. Jerry Holian's Butsy's Best won well over this distance on May 15th. That night we suggested that the trip was the making of him. He walked out of boxes, but he showed brilliant early speed up the outside, and he can't afford to walk out of boxes, but certainly he is suited by the longer run to the corner. The same could be said for Glenda Locke, who was a winner over 5.75 May 8th, and Strictly Flow, a good winner at Enniscorthy last time out. Amethyst Luke obviously won with a bright future. He's a brother to Trap 3, Glenda Locke, so interesting to see the comrades running against each other. But no, I'll stick with Butsy's Best on the outside. Runners in traps for your 10th race tonight. The Trio Open 550. 1 Amethyst Luke, 2 Strictly Flow, 3 Glenda Locke, 4 Mountain Maestro, 5 Bogger Bella, and 6 is Butsy's Best. Hair up behind traps. And racing, good start by 2, Strictly Flow, 3 going up well, Glenda Locke. Here comes 6 on the outside, Butsy's Best, showing big early speed as he did last time over 550. But 3, Glenda Locke is a challenger off the second. It's 6, Butsy's Best, 3, Glenda Locke back in third. Is 5, Bogger Bella, but now 6, Butsy's Best, putting pace to the race. Moves on by 3.5 to in second. 3, Glenda Locke, 4 in third. Mountain Maestro, Butsy's Best, now by 3 lengths, maybe 2.5 lengths to the line. Butsy's Best will do enough and scores a double for Jerry Holian and the Butsy's Bucko Syndicate. Second was 3, Glenda Locke, a fine run by him. The winning time 29.80, fine run by Butsy's Best.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, well, we did say if Butsy's Best got a decent start, he might be able to do 29.65, 29.70. You weren't too far off the mark, 29.80, a decent run. He didn't come away in his best fashion, but he does show real good early pace up on the outside. Look, he's already going to lend clear after giving them maybe 2 at the start. He takes a slight bump from trap 4, Mountain Maestro, and Glenda Locke gets up as inside as they hit down the back straight. But he's a nice performer, this Butsy's Best. It's now 5 from 13, stretches the lead to maybe 3 lengths at the third bend. Glenda Locke running well in second. He's quite inexperienced. This is only his 8th start tonight. And Mountain Maestro, he's a good card back in 4th place. Bogger Bella runs on as usual, but up to the line. No catching Butsy's Best. He makes all in 29.80. Ian, I'll just have one quick replay with you before I give the draw for the Oaks. A good performance by Butsy's Best, and now a double for Jerry Holohan on the night.
Yeah, Jerry Holian, good second winner for him. Butsy's Best, of course, owned by the same people. Butsy's Bucko Syndicate, as he did the last time over this trip, missed the kick, shows great early speed on the outside. I'd be tempted to step him up even further. Do you know what? He may just have enough early speed for somewhere like Dundalk. Unfortunately, the trapping will have to improve, but he did take a hefty bump off Glendalough. I thought Glendalough with form over 5.75 yards was going to really put it up to him, but Butsy's best. Simply too much pace between the second and third bends, and races into a 3.5 length lead, and in the end wins comfortably by probably 2.5, 3 lengths. Butsy's best. He's a nice progressive dog. I wouldn't bother with 5.25 with this greyhound again. I just think he's going to get himself in traffic problems. He's going to miss the kick, get up there at the wrong time. For me, 5.50 and even 5.75, I think he'll have a bit of sport with him.
Yeah, I can see what you mean. Like if he missed the kick there, that was it was an open race, but he can come up in better class of open races, and if he does miss the kick like that again, it's going to be very hard to make the bend. But at least with 5.50, it gives him a bit of time to sort himself out on the run into the bend. But 5.25, he doesn't have that sort of a luxury. So we're going to head down to Clonmel for the last time this evening. This is the Run Happy at Stud A3 final. Ned Morrissey, thank you to you for sponsoring the Run Happy at Stud A3 525. Run Happy, of course, a son of Tully Murray-Yacht. He was third in the Derby in 2019, leading for much of the way, just collared close home. He had 28.07 on his card in Shelbourne Park and 29.43, I think it is, for 5.50 in that Derby final. Great early pace dog, and his dam line is very strong too. His dam Marlfield Taylor produced many top performers. To contact Ned Morrissey about Run Happy. So here they are now on parade, and in trap 1 we have David Furniture's Romeo Capo. This one trained by Adam Dunford. He is a son of Premier Fantasy and Fabulous Holiday. We could all do with one of them. Trap number 2 is Cloncunny PC for JJ Scully. He owns and trains this one. She's a daughter of Patsy Sabbath and Chaotic Linda. In trap 3 we have Patrick Casey's Peanut Berry, a daughter of Taylor Sky and Dove Berry. She's won 4 of her 32 starts. Next up in shot we have Michael Rose Sporting Rita. Jerry Griffin trains this one for Michael. She's a daughter of Definite Opinion and Coolavani Angie. Just the 2 wins from her 31 starts. In trap 5 we have Elizabeth Slive's Jumpy John. This one is son of Sonic and Exciting Style. He's won 3 of the 7 starts. And finally out in trap 6, and another runner on the card for Mary O'Connor, it's Minor Trump. He's a son of Minor Mike and Minor Winner. He's won 2 of his 6 starts. So they are the runners for our final race at Clonmel. I'll run through them quickly before we pass over to Joe. The first one we're going to look at is your race favourite, Cloncunny PC. He's actually won 3 of his last 4, and his best run to date here was last week when he made all in 28.70 off a good opening sectional of 2.82. Still very young, only in August 19, and he could well have further improvement. In trap 5 we have Jumpy John for Elizabeth Sives, another with a good card. He posted a personal best here last week. He's won 3 out of his 7 starts. Good early pace, and I see he's up for sale this week on Greyhound data with a price tag of €3,000. And finally out in trap 6 we have Mary O'Connor's Minor Trump. He's had 6 races and he's been in the top 3 5 times. Only a September 19. Well drawn as a sole wide seed here tonight. He did meet a bit of trouble last week, and he's not without a chance out wide tonight. I'm going to side with 2 to beat 6. Joe, for the final time, a song on your selections. Okay, forget about a song, just your selections.
Get your requests in, folks. If we can get them up on Twitter now, folks, get your requests in and send on Revolut Me if you quit, and then I'll do the songs. For now, I'm going to focus on Cloncunny PC. Was a very, very impressive winner last week in 28.70 for a gentleman of our sport, Mr. Jim Scully in Pilltown. Was so impressive. 2.82 split. A repeat of that from this daughter of Patsy Sabbat should see her go very, very close. Romeo Capo runs for David Furniture, of course, who is a great supporter of our sports, well trained by young Adam Dunford, only having its 4th start tonight on November 19. So as a pup that should be improving a lot. Peanut Berry, of course, goes from trap 3 for Patrick Casey of Glenworth, one of the more experienced runners in the field. Trap 4 for the powerful owner-trainer combination of Mr. Michael Rowe and Jerry Griffin, of course, who had the TV Trophy finalist in Sporting Pat a number of weeks ago. Well, she absolutely flew home. She came home at about 12.40 was her split home last week, which is real motoring. And if she can be prominent in the latter stages race around the 3rd bend, you can be sure to see her in the frame as well. Jumpy John was very impressive in 28.97, and Minor Trump, of course, one of a number of runners for Mary O'Connor. If I had to pick one, I'd go for Jim Scully's Cloncunny PC. He was so impressive. Sporting Rita to be staying on, and Minor Trump from Mary O'Connor from the stripes of trap 6 to be there or thereabouts as well. We're heading over to Eddie for the commentary.
Bell goes for the final of the run. Happy at stud 8, 3 in 1. Romeo Capo, 2 Cloncunny PC, 3 Peanut Berry, 4 Sporting Rita, 5 Jumpy John, 6 Minor Trump. Here's behind Traps. And away they go, and Trap 6 breaks lively on the outside. That's Minor Trump, but he's challenged by 1 and 5 on the inner as they go to the bend. It's going to be tight. Trap 1 goes around in front. That's Romeo Capo. Leads into the back now by half a length from 5. Jumpy John in second. Trap 2 is third, and Trap 6 is fourth. Into the third bend they go. There's little to choose between 1 and 5. 16:47 split. 1 is the inside. 6 runs wide and loses ground. And it's Trap 1 who pulls clear in the home straight. Romeo Capo from 6 in second and 5 in third. But up to the judge. Trap 1 wins. 6 second, 4 third. 1 6 and 4 for your trio. The winning time 29:06.
Thanks a million there, Eddie. Thank you for your good work there this evening. Congratulations to David Firminger and Adam Dunford. A messy contest there, but take nothing away from the winner. Let's take a look at it from the start. You can see away they go. He sort of jumped from boxes, Romeo Capo, but just moved slightly to the right. It shows good early pace. Take it up the inside. Trap 5 just moves off there and allows Romeo Capo a decent run down into the back straight. 2 starts to make a move. Here you thought Jumpy John, the £3,000 price tag, was looking to double, but into the third bend, Romeo Capo, he sticks it out well. Trap 6, Minor Trump, showed great pace into the third bend, and he hampers Trap 5 along with Trap 2, and that leaves the race at Romeo Capo's mercy. In fairness to him, he does go on to win by 7 or 8 lengths in 29:06, so congratulations to him. So Joe, we're going to head down to you for, I think you might have somebody for a replay, is it?
Yeah, very, very impressive performance by Romeo Capo, of course, owned by David Firminger, who is no stranger to being in the ownership of very, very fast greyhounds. Of course, he owns Romeo Magical, and what a greyhound he is from Trap 1. Really suited this greyhound tonight. Remember, it's only November 19 whelp and only its fourth starts, 2 wins. This is a greyhound with a very, very bright future. 29:06, improved about half a second from his clock last week, and sure to have more improvement in the tank. Minor Trump ran on exceptionally well for Mary O'Connor as well. September 19 whelp, and who has only had 7 starts. It was 7th start tonight, so a lot more to come from that. And Sporting Rita for Jerry Griffin, well, of course, she has been mixing it with some good company. Ran in the Thurles Champion Bitch Stake earlier on in the year. Unfortunately, her early part of the race isn't in her best, but she really flies from halfway, and she stayed on well to finish third. It was a bit of traffic, of course, and congestion in parts of the race, but all about our winner here, Romeo Capo for David Firminger, and of course trained by young Adam Dunford. And that wraps up and concludes our racing here in Clonmel. We'll be having a chat with racing manager Eddie Anderson soon to sum up the night's affairs as well.
Thanks a million, Joe. Yeah, great coverage as always. We will pop back to you down there before we head off air. So next up here at Shelbourne Park is our second last contest of the evening. It is the Talking Dogs online TV 5-5 semi-final. One of the more interesting races, apart from obviously our big ones on the card tonight. We have Trap 3, Croker's Spirit. The rumours abound of massive sums offered for this dog in recent weeks. It was torn down, so it'll be interesting to see how he gets on tonight. It's a tricky contest with Broadstrand, Ryan in there as well, and of course Ripley Ladd. We've seen him. He was runner-up in the Cesarewitch in Mullingar recently. He's a really smart hound, really consistent over 4 and 6 bends. So it is a fascinating contest coming up shortly in Shelbourne Park. Of course, we've one more heat that involves Irish runners over in Toaster, and as Ian was alluded to, he's still trying to stick the knife into our British counterparts. So we look to have a huge hand over there, very strong hand in the English Derby, with all of the dogs towards the top of the betting seem to be Irish based. So hopefully we can win our first Derby at Toaster on our third attempt. Of course, it's being won by Dorota's Woohoo and I think Astute Missile the last couple of times. We went close with the likes of Tyra O'Shea and Claire's Rocket over there. Of course, Claire's Rocket won the Produce Stakes a couple of years ago for Graham Holland in the fastest ever time, I think, of 28 seconds. Graham had won 3 of the last 5 runnings of the Produce Stakes. So race 11, the runners are just out here behind me. Ian, this promises to be a fascinating contest. I'm sure you heard the rumours of large money being offered for Croker Spirit during the week, but it's one of our better contests on the card.
Yeah, I was always told to believe what sort of half of what you see, or I'm not sure what the expression is, half what you see and nothing of what you hear, but yeah, Croker Spirit obviously did, run very, very well here last time out in 28-18. This is a completely different scenario for him. If he wins here, you can start talking, seriously about Trap 3 Croker Spirit being one for the future. Jerry Holian, of course, is in flying form. He's already had a double, but some really class acts here. Broadstrand Ryan is a dog with potential Derby sort of claims later in the year with a bit more experience and a bit more development. Obviously the likes of Ripley Lad and Razzle Dazzle Monarch, both plenty of pace. Broke with Hope. Be interesting to see what that one does at traps, but an interesting contest. Runners on parade for this 11th race. It is the Talking Dogs Online TV Open 525 semi-final. One Razzle Dazzle Monarch for Nielsen Conlon, the Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate, the son of Makeshift Razzle Dazzle Prue. Two Broadstrand Ryan, a really talented young tracker owned by the Ryan Drake Donovan Syndicate. Trevor Johnny Linehan, the son of Ballymac Esky and Droopy's Rihanna. 3 on your card is Croker Spirit for Jerry Holian and John Croker, an exciting son of Scalarmy Daddy and Bowley's Ace. 4 is Broke with Hope, owned by the Step Into My Office Syndicate, son of Kinloch Bray and Boom Time. 5 is at Lacazette, owned by Noel Neenan, the son of Patsy Sabbath and Atlaka Charm. And 6 is Ripley Lad, owned by Austin Kelly, powerful son of Drubby's Cane and Fork Lightning. Of course, last seen when running up the Cesarewitch. They're on the way to traps, not long left to get involved.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. So before we get into the 11th race, just want to say special thank you to Derek Garvey and Dave Turner. They've been long time track maintenance men around here, and they have the track looking magnificent as always tonight. They've been here since I've been going to the dogs, well over 30 years ago, so fair play to the lads. They always have the track looking in magnificent condition. So it is race 11. It is the Talking Dogs Online TV AA Open 525 semi-final. I'm going to look at trap 1 here. Razzle Dazzle Monarch. He's a Shelbourne Park regular. In fact, 7 of his 13 wins have come around Shelbourne Park. He's also won at Limerick. He's won at Tralee and Cork. He's won over 525, 550 and 570. He's even won a hurdle race. He's an amazingly consistent dog. He's knocking on for £10,000 in prize money. He stays strongly over this trip, and connections to Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate will be hoping he can make his way into the final. Trap number 3 here, Croker Spirit, as we mentioned. Rumours abound of big money for this one. He put in a devastating display around here last month when demolishing a good field to win in 28-18. His only defeat came at the hands of Droopy's Good, and we've seen Droopy's Good earlier on show his pace, so it's no mean feat to be defeated by that lad. And the last one I'm going to look at is the amazingly consistent Ripley Lad. As I mentioned earlier on, he was runner-up in the Mullingar SIS Cesarewitch only a few weeks ago, beaten a length and a half by Amazing Alice. He's now won over 525, 550, 600 and 725. You'd be inclined to think that 525 is a bit sharp for him. Well, look, there's no doubt it is a bit sharp for him, but don't forget he won over 525 here in February in 28-49, beating the Derby runner-up Mina Miracle. So before I pass to you, Ian, a quick show betting. It's 7-4 each of 2 Broadstrand Ryan and Croker Spirit. It's 7-1 bar Ripley Lad. Interesting contest. Let's see how Croker Spirit gets on. Over to you, Ian.
Yeah, thanks Barry. As you can see, the loading process almost complete. Just let you know that Angry Dad has just won for the Irish in the final heat of the opening round of the Star Sports and TRC Events and Leisure English Derby. Hello Hammond, unfortunately going out in 4th spot, but a terrific night for Angry Dad and for his connections. Indeed, a great night for the Irish. Well, the runner is now in traps for this 11th race tonight. In 1 Razzle Dazzle Monarch, 2 Broadstrand Ryan, 3 Croker Spirit, 4 Broke with Hope, 5 at Lacazette, and 6 is Ripley Lad. Here coming up behind traps. And racing, trap 2 Broadstrand Ryan came away well, although 1 or 2 of them charging traps in second is 2 Croker Spirit and 5 at Lacazette, but it is 2 Broadstrand Ryan leads him to the back straight. 3 Croker's Spirit now clips his heels and is challenged for second by 5 at Lacazette into the 3rd bend. 2 Broadstrand Ryan, Croker Spirit coming back for more, but again forced to check. 5 at Lacazette still on the scene on the outside. It's Broadstrand Ryan from at Lacazette and 3 Croker Spirit to the line. Broadstrand Ryan digs in, will get there tight for second, but 5 at Lacazette looks like that was second with 3 Croker Spirit third. The winning time 28.61. It was all a bit muddled up front. Broadstrand Ryan never really got loose, and Croker Spirit ran up his backside a couple of times, and the Lacazette was also on the scene all throughout, but 28.61 the winning time. Broadstrand Ryan too strong from the final turn home.
Thanks, Ian. Congratulations to the Ryan Drake and Donovan Syndicate from Cork and trainer John Lennon. Takes a flyer from trap 2, Broadstrand Ryan. Trap 3, Croker Spirit moves straight to the inside after showing good early pace himself. Forced to slightly check there before they hit the second bend, and again just at the sprint box. Trap 5 moved up well at Lacazette, but 2 and 3 done each other no favours around the first couple of bends, and again here trap 3 Croker Spirit is forced to check. There's surely better to come from him. Like I said, again, moves up on the outside, finishes strongly. But in fairness to Broadstrand Ryan, nice card now. That's now 5 wins from 8 starts. He's a decent card, but don't give up on Croker Spirit. I'm going to pass down to Joe Sheahan. Joe, I believe you have Eddie, racing manager, for a quick chat.
Yes, and we're delighted to be joined by Eddie Anderson, racing manager here in Clonmel. Not only racing manager, he's commentator, he's welcoming people at the door, he's doing everything around here. And Eddie, I must credit you, you've done a fantastic job, you and your team here. It's been a fantastic night's racing, and what a Produce Stakes we had tonight.
Yeah, it was a fabulous Produce Stakes throughout. We had great times every week in it, and we had a very worthy winner and explosive boy. You know, he really did the job right, and it made up for the heartache they suffered in the Cloncarby at Limerick. And
the Produce Stakes is such a proud and has such a long and happy tradition here in Clonmel. What does it mean to the locals here to track into yourself?
Well, the Produce Stakes means everything to the people around this area, in the Tipper area and Munster area. Like, it's going back to 1957, I think, when the Grand Fire won it first. My first Produce Stakes experience was 1974 as a young lad. And, you know, I've never missed the Produce Stakes since, I'd say, you know, and it's just a fantastic event, and, you know, it's for the people, you know, and we were very lucky to have some great sponsors along the years, and I'd like to shout a big shout out to Larry O'Rourke for all the support he's given us over the last couple of years. And indeed, we had 10 finals tonight, Joe, and we wouldn't have been able to have that kind of a card without the generosity and the goodwill of all those people who contributed to the Buster, to all the stakes that were on tonight. There was great prize money, and we wouldn't be anything without those people. And they're all 100% genuine Greyhound people, and we thank them from the bottom of our hearts here at Clonmel for the support they've showed us from all over the country. The 4 corners of the country, they've contributed in every way they could to help us get a night like tonight.
Absolutely, really feel that team effort atmosphere around here. Eddie, past winners of the Produce Stakes have gone on to remarkable things. Look at last year, Noah Taylor went on to win the Derby. It's such a fantastic event for pups. It's such a remarkable talent takes place here in Clonmel year in, year out.
You see, it was always time. The Produce Stakes was always on at the start of the year. It was the first classic, going back over the years. It was always the first classic. It was always run between April and May. And it gave Greyhounds a great chance then to go on to further things during the year, like the Laurels. I think Adderville Bridge won this, and he became the first Greyhound to win another classic after winning the Produce Stakes when he won the Laurels at Cork after that. But, you know, we've had Boyle Sports Hero, we've had Clare's Rocket, you know, Greyhound 210, we've had some fantastic winners. But it's the time of the year, and it's, you know, that's where it's just strategically placed at the April, May, June.
Absolutely.
So you can challenge for the bigger events later on in the year.
Absolutely, we saw some fantastic Greyhounds on display today. Eddie, great credit due to you and all your team, and of course, as we mentioned, the sponsors, fantastic sponsorship, and well done. And we're already looking back to the Produce Stakes of 2022. Thanks a million for joining us.
No problem, Joe. Thanks for having me. Okay.
Yeah, congratulations, Eddie. Great work down there as always. Joe, before I let you off the hook, I presume you've seen some of the quarter-final action here from Shelbourne Park, from the Oaks, the Sporting Press Online edition, Irish Oaks. We've had some tremendous racing up here. Anything catch your eye?
Bitch, I really like the front of Manny. I think she has massive pace, and definitely one to look forward to. But it's a fantastic Oaks. We're really lucky at the moment, Barry. The level of Greyhounds we're seeing competing here in Clonmel. With Race of Champions next week. Look at the Oaks in Shelbourne. It's the cream of the crop, and the times we're in, a lot of people are actually, instead of selling them across to the UK, they're keeping them here in the country. It's fantastic to see the crop of Greyhounds we have here at the moment. Look at our Produce Stakes final here tonight. Even look at the A1 final, which likes the Jack's Little Thing and Deadly Tornadoes. We have top class Greyhounds in Ireland at the moment, and it's really, I guess the momentum is really building for Greyhound racing. We've been on a steady upward keel of momentum, and it's fantastic to be a part of that. And as we always say, onwards and upwards, but so much to look forward to in the Oaks next week, of course, and the Race of Champions. And I encourage everyone to tune in to Talking Dogs TV next weekend. And thanks a million, Barry. And next weekend we might have a song when I have a bit of time to warm up the voice and a bit of time to rehearse.
Well, I'll have to get a few quid into my Revolut account, Joe, because you won't do anything for nothing, it seems. So there you go. But listen, Joe, thanks a million. Fabulous work as always, and we'll hope to see you again next week on Talking Dogs TV. Thanks again, Joe. Safe home.
Barry, the pleasure is all mine. To all our wonderful listeners, thanks for joining us.
Thanks a million, Joe. The brilliant Joe Sheahan. There we go. So we've got one more race here at Shelbourne Park. It is a 5-runner affair, Trap 2. Rannoch Moore is a non-runner, no reserve running from Trap number 2. A couple of exciting sorts in the next contest. Fast Fit Paddy for Declan McDonough will probably go off favourite, with Romeo on Fire challenging for favouritism as well. Ian, we will go through the heats of the Oaks just briefly, but who was your star performer of the night? Joe, like front of Manny. I'm going to say Susie Sapphire because it was financially beneficial for me. Who was your star performer of the bitches races tonight?
Yeah, all of the above. I have to throw in Billy's Diva. She gets checked in the first few strides. She gets checked off the second bend. She has to go round the outside, and she still gets up to win. That was a special run. She probably lost 3 or 4 lengths of running. She does 28:37, I believe. So clearly she's going to do 28 seconds sooner rather than later. She has a tricky enough draw next week in 5. She's going to have to be on her toes early, but not a massive amount of early speed in the race. So if she does hit the lids, she could easily get around. And she has raced from out there in the past. Indeed, in her early starts, that's where John Kennedy believes she wanted to race from, was the outside. So I wouldn't be too concerned by the draw for her. But other than them, the one that caught my eye earlier on the card was Butsy's Bengal. I think this could be a big year for him. I know we're already into June, but it's now this type of dog will get a chance to shine, be it in Dundalk or somewhere like the Laurels in Cork. Just showed really good early speed tonight. I really like Droopy's Good in defeat. I really did like him. I think there's a massive run or two in him in the coming weeks, and who knows what he might go on to achieve. But yeah, all in all, yeah, great racing both here and at Clonmel. Of course, we had a tremendous winner of the Produce Stakes, a tremendous display by the runner-up Vallegro, and of course Good Cody. Well, it wasn't his night tonight. He didn't set the pace and did take a bumper too early. But have no doubt we'll be hearing plenty more of him. He's only an October whelp, and well, that run last week will stay with me for quite some time. That 28:09 run was really something special from Good Cody, and I think the world is still his oyster. Yeah, lots to look forward to in the coming weeks, but great night's racing all in. But as I said, Billy's Diva was one that really shone in the Oaks for me. Front of Manny, we know how good she is. She got a clear passage. Billy's Diva didn't, and she still came through to win. And the run of Susie Sapphire was most eye-catching, but so too was the run from the runner-up Scooby Princess. And 2 cracking Oaks semi-finals to look forward to. We're not finished here, of course, at Shelbourne Park. The last race will be coming up very shortly.
Yeah, thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, we did have some great racing in Clonmel. A couple of nice pups won the first 2 races in Clonmel, and of course Explosive Boy. I wonder will Pat Guilfoyle be tempted to go for the Derby? Of course, he thinks he quite won't get the 550, but look, Grangeview 10 was a Sprint Cup winner around Dundalk, and he went to the Derby. He went quite far in it as well, so he might just be tempted. There's only one Derby, as they say, but he might just be tempted to have a crack at that. Of course, speaking of the Derby, as we know, we're ongoing over in the UK at the moment, and Nomadic Bolt Sid looking to win it again. It's Westmeath Hawk and Rapid Ranger, I suppose, were the last 2 dogs to defend the Derby, and of course Mick de Miller back in the 20s and 30s. I think you were around for Mick de Miller winning in 1929, something like that. But back just back to Shelbourne Park here again. Yeah, you did mention you liked Droopy's Good in defeat, and it's interesting enough that he was very impressive in defeat. But the only dog who we've seen Croker Spirit there in the last race, he was also very impressive in defeat, and the only time he was beaten prior to tonight was against Droopy's Good. So whoever finished third in that race that night, they can count themselves a little unlucky to come up against them too, of course. So I'm sure they will have bright futures as well. So we've got one more race to go, and then we will give you the draw for the Sporting Press Irish Oaks. Just looking back at the card, I suppose one of the bitches for me, I'm going to say Susie Sapphire, because obviously financial involvement does help. But last week she ran against Front of Manny, and into the back straight, Front of Manny turned within 2 or 3 lengths of her maybe, and only maybe better by a length and a half. So I think she is staying a little bit stronger, as you've seen there tonight. She won well there tonight. She is very young. I think she's only on October 19. She was impressive when winning the Puppy Oaks. Front of Manny came from maybe 8-9 lengths behind her in the Puppy Oaks to close the gap to about 1.5. So it does show you she is staying stronger, because Front of Manny turned closer to her last week and only beat her by a length and a half. So she's a tricky enough draw. As I say, we'll give you that in a couple of moments next week. But I think she's still the one with her early pace to take out of the final. So as Ian said, we're not finished here tonight in Shelbourne Park. Our last race is the Talking Dogs online TV. It's the second of our semi-finals. As I say, Fast Fit Paddy opened up at 5-2 earlier on in the week. He's seen good support in the market. He's now 7-4, along with Romeo on Fire, his conqueror last week. If Romeo on Fire comes out in the same fashion and clocks 28.43, he could be hard to beat. Don't ignore No All Nick, for local owner Jerry Daly in Trap 5. He's really improved around here recently, some smart sectionals, and he can go up with the best of them. We have the legendary Razzle Dazzle Peak. He's a brilliant performer, this fella. He's won 9 of his 54 starts and over €11,000 in prize money. He's in Trap 3, and nothing on his inside will help him. So for the last time this evening, they're on parade. Ian, it's over to you for race number 12.
Well, runners now parading for this 12th and final race here at Shelbourne Park. One is Fast Fit Paddy. John Quinn and Paul Horrick own this. Son of Ballymac, Vic and Rossmold Martha, trained by Declan McDonough. Next in 3, Razzle Dazzle Peaky for Neelis O'Connell, the Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate. Son of Makeshift and Razzle Dazzle Prue. 4 is Glencorbry Duke. 4, Jerry Melia, Stephen Barrett, son of Kinloch Bray and Penny's Queen. 5, Know All Nick, owned by Jerry Daly, son of Ballymac Esky and Catgirl. And out in 6 is Romeo on Fire. Graham Holland for David Firminger, son of Droopy's Jet, and Rushmore Beatrice. It is your 12th and final race here tonight at Shelbourne Park, and they are making their way towards Traps. And Barry, I do have to pull you up. It wasn't Knocknabull Sid that won last year's English Derby. It was Dearjet Sydney. So you know, I'm sure they sort of half share the same name, but no, Dearjet Sydney is the reigning champion, not Knocknabull Sid.
You know, as soon as I said it, I knew. And I'm sorry, it's just the Sids. The Sids get me the whole time. Yeah, there's too many Sids. I do apologise. Of course, it was Knocknabull Sid. I do apologise, Ian. Right, if you hadn't pulled me up, nobody might have noticed that. You know that. But thanks for pulling me up. Anyway, on to race 12, our last race here of the evening. It is a 5-runner affair. Trap 2, Rannochmore, as we mentioned, is out. So we're going to take a look at a couple of these in closer detail. The first one we will look at is Fast Fit Paddy for John Quinn and Paul Horrigan. He's trained by Declan McDonough. He is running well around here in recent weeks. He's runner up behind Dark Devil and Romeo on Fire here last week. He's still very young. He's a couple of 28:30 runs on his card in trials, and also a win ahead of Night Hurricane in 28:31. He's a lovely looking brindle dog if you get a chance to see him. I've seen him earlier on this evening coming in, and he's definitely one with a bright future. His breeding goes back to the likes of the brilliant Katunda Lace. In Trap 3 we have Razzle Dazzle Peaky for the Kildare Kilcolgan Syndicate, trained by Neelius O'Connell. Brilliant performer over the years, Consolation Derby winner last year in 2020. He has recorded 29.19 for 550 on his card and 30.70 for the 575, which is not far off the track record. I think the track record is 30.65. We'll get Ian Fortune to tidy that up for us. But he ran on well behind an impressive winner on return from a short break here last week. The 5-runner affair will help him with a little bit of room on his inside. And finally, we will take a look at Romeo on Fire, your current race favourite, out in Trap 6. He's 8 wins from his 16 starts and put in a brilliant display over this trip last week. Same trap and grade once again tonight. He can show huge early pace when trapping white, and he's a major chance as the sole wide seed here out in Trap 6. Don't ignore Noel Nick, a local runner for Jerry Daly. As I say, he's really improved in recent months and a career best over this trip on the 24th of April when clocking 28.25. I'm sure 28.25 might well just be good enough to win this here tonight. He is capable of a flying start, and if he got in front, he would be very, very hard to pick up. I think it's between 1 and 6. Ian, I'll pass over to you for the last time for commentary this evening for race number 12.
Yeah, thanks, Barry. The finale, all in. And so for the last time tonight, the hair is in motion. The runners in 1, Fast Fit Paddy. 3, Razzle Dazzle Peaky. 4, Glencorbry Duke. In 5, we have Know All Nick, and out in 6 is Romeo on Fire. Hair up behind Traps. And racing, good start by Trap 3, Razzle Dazzle Peaky, but there goes Romeo on Fire, showing his trademark early dash to lead the corner. From in second 1, Fast Fit Paddy, then comes 3, Razzle Dazzle Peaky, but it is 6, Romeo on Fire. He's opened up by 5 lengths over 1 in second, Fast Fit Paddy, Razzle Dazzle Peaky back in third, but still Trap 6, Romeo on Fire from 1, Fast Fit Paddy, and 3, Razzle Dazzle Peaky. No order changes from the early yards. Romeo on Fire leads up to the line. He is coming back to them, but he holds on from 1, Fast Fit Paddy, and 3, Razzle Dazzle Peaky. The winning time 28.33. He really does have stunning early speed. Romeo on Fire.
Thanks a million, Ian. Yeah, congratulations, David Firminger and Graham Holland once again. Take a look at them from the start. Takes a flyer from Trap 6, Romeo on Fire, and he's already 2 lengths clear as they pass the 600-yard line. Increases that to 3, maybe 3.5 as they hit the sprint box. Yeah, he's at least 4 clear. I think it'd be interesting to look back at that again. I think Trap 1 did stumble, and that's definitely costing the race. He's only beat a half a length in the end, but into the third bend, Romeo on Fire keeps up the gallop. He's still 3 lengths clear. Not the strongest there in the world, but look, if you're doing 28.33, you certainly do stay. Up to home straight, you can see Trap 1. He is closing with every stride. Hangs on by maybe a half a length, but Ian, on the second replay here, just take a look at trap 2 just before they hit the sprint box. I think he might have just lost his back footing. There's nothing clips him or anything. I think he just lost stride, if you could just see it before the sprint box.
Yeah, listen, Razzle Azapiki came away well, but just look at Romeo on fire on the outside. He really does have tremendous early dash. One fast pitch Paddy didn't take a flying start, but he did get racing in behind it. I can see what you mean. He just looked a bit ungainly around the second bend. There's no particular point, perhaps 1 or 2 points maybe. His back legs looked like they've gone down a fraction, but trap 6, Romeo on fire, really did burn them off to that third bend. And one fast fit Paddy, well, we know he goes right to the line, so too Razzle Dazzle Peaky, but Romeo on fire. We've seen a few dogs tonight that could be laurels bound. This is certainly another one. I think he has the early speed perhaps to take in Dundalk as well, the Irish Sprint Cup. He has that sort of early speed. Just a real money spinner in the future, I'd imagine. That's his 9th win from 17 starts. Not too many would lead him over this trip.
Yeah, I have to agree. I think the sprint trip at Dundalk would be the logical next step from. He has blind in early. He's only in March 19, so he's just come out of puppy status. And as you say, that's 9 wins now on his card. Clocking 28.33, and he must have been 4 or 5 lengths clear at the third bend. Come back to them slightly, so he obviously has real good gears at this time to the third bend. I think it's 16 dead, so that's fair going if he's clocking 16 dead to the third bend. So that wraps up proceedings here at Shelbourne Park this evening. Just a couple more things to tidy up. We just want to let you know that Boyle Sports gave us the news this week that they're going to sponsor the Irish Greyhound Derby for a further 3 years. That will then make it 10 years of sponsorship from Boyle Sports for the Irish Greyhound Derby. This will also include the Champion Stakes as well. So massive thank you to John Boyle and all at Boyle Sports. We've had some tremendous racing in the Boyle Sports Derby over the last 7 years. Let's just take a look back at some of the highlights of our derbies.
The odds-on favourite in leading off the final turn. He swings wide, but he won't be caught as Lahill Blake wins. Barry McMahon is second. Farlow Rumble is in third and challenging for second, coming to the line, and Barry McMahon comes through to win it. Off the final bend, Roar Away goes to the country. One holding Cosmere running on, but Roar Away wins the derby. Good news, he stays all day, and good news, wins the derby. It's number 1, Barry Anselm, from 2, Barry from Magical Vale, up the straight, and Barry Anselm wins the derby. Run happy, Lenson Blanco, Boyle Sports King is flying, up the line is going to be tight, Lenson Blanco has won the derby.
Meet a Miracle closing on Ewan Taylor off the final turn. Ewan Taylor switches wide. Here comes Meet a Miracle. Ewan Taylor holds on to win the derby. It's Ewan Taylor.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, it just brings back so many memories when we look at those finals, and there's been so many heartbreaks when you look at that as well. Farlow Blitz there was one of the first videos we've seen. He was just caught on the line by, I think it was Ballymacmatt, and then you had the heartbreak of Run Happy and Boyle Sports King for the sponsor John Boyle, who were just denied. Run Happy led all the way and just collared close on. Boyle Sports King needed another 2 or 3 yards to get up and give John Boyle his money back. That was heartbreak for them. Of course, Mina Miracle, if she had switched inside of Ewan Taylor, she would have won a derby as well. And of course, poor El Pastana, he deserved to really get a run in the final. So once again, huge congratulations to Boyle Sports for sponsoring the derby once again, and for the next 3 years. Kudos to them. So now it's time to give you the trap draw for the semi-final of the Oaks. So I'm just going to read this off a sheet. So heat number 1, we have 5 inside seeds, and they are as follow. In 1, Razzle Dazzle Maya. 2, Sinfonia. 3 is Scooby Princess. In 4, Ballydoyle Rossa. 5, Billy's Diva. And out in 6, we have the sole wide seed Swanley Chick. Just run through that again. 1, Razzle Dazzle Maya. 2, Sinfonia. 3, Scooby Princess. 4, Ballydoyle Rossa. 5, Billy's Diva. And 6, the wide seed Swanley Chick. The second semi-final, we have in 1, Highview Magnet. 2, Ballymac Beanie. 3, Susie Sapphire. 4, Ballymac Art. 5, Highview Lemon. And 6, a wide seed Front Amani. Give that to you one more time. 1, Highview Magnet. 2, Ballymac Beanie. 3, Susie Sapphire. 4, Ballymac Art. 5, Highview Lemon. And 6, Front Amani, the only wide seed. So, Ian, where do you start, really? I'm going to look at the second heat when you see all the early pace there in 2, 3 and 4. You have Ballymac Beanie in 2, Susie Sapphire in 3 and Ballymac Art in 4. That's going to be some race to the bend here next week.
Yeah, absolutely. In front of man, he'd be stalking them into the back straight, you'd imagine, looking to qualify and maybe pick them up. You know, none of the leaders can afford, or potential leaders can afford, any mistakes, because Frontomani will be coming fast, and you know, something's going to lose out there. Some big names, real early speed in the second heat, but in contrast, the opening heat is full of real power and pace and strong runners. And yeah, 2 really intriguing semi-finals. The way it's been thrown up, that all the strong runners in the first, with the exception of Frontomani, and all the early speed in the second heat, it's going to make for some really fascinating viewing.
He is, with all the early pace in the second heat, maybe it could suit Front Amani just to nip in behind him and get a run down the back straight. But as you allude to, the first semi-final, whatever leads there, it's going to be very, very hard to peg back. Just a quick look at them. Like, I can't see Sinfonia leading in the first heat. Razzle Dazzle Maya, can't really see her leading either. Scooby's Princess is capable of a flying start, but she does lack a bit of early pace. Ballydoyle Rossa actually went up well last week in her semi-final and was only headed at the bend by Susie Sapphire, so she might be worth a second look. Swanley Chick can go up strongly, but I think Billy's Diva, Ian, might just have a chance of making all in heat in the first semi-final. Like, she seems to be fairly versatile trap-wise, but I think trap 5 she could make all.
Yeah, if she traps on terms, she'll probably lead around the corner, and that would be that. You know, there's nothing going to come from behind her. Although Scooby Princess, having negotiated a very tricky draw tonight, will have a much better draw next week, because you know, she really should be leading up the likes of Razzle Dazzle Maya and Sinfonia. She's on the right side of Ballydoyle Rossa and Billy's Diva, so she can turn prominently. But I'm expecting Billy's Diva to go up fast and perhaps make basically all the running on the outside there from trap 5. But you know, if she makes any mistakes again, you know, anything could happen, because she's not going to be coming from behind the likes of Scooby Princess or Ballydoyle Rossa, or dare I say it, Sinfonia and Swanley Chick, as we saw tonight and last week. She is coming back to herself a bit, so don't rule her out either. As we've said, 2 unbelievable semi-finals, so much to look forward to here in 7 days' time.
Yeah, I'm just looking once again at the draw. Highview Magnet is in trap 1, and I did mention in commentary before, I think her lane is about lane 4, but look, promises to be fascinating racing once again here next week. Don't forget, we will be live with Robert Carlson. Ian, once again, thank you very much for your wonderful commentary. Double jobbing as well down in Clonmel, so I'll make sure you get that in your pay as well.
No chance
this week. No chance at all. Asher, look, it's worth a try. It's worth a try. Now, just before we leave you, we had the National Greyhound Awards a couple of weeks ago. We had a couple of people inducted into the Hall of Fame, especially, well, Barry Murphy was inducted into the Hall of Fame, but we also had another couple of awards on the night, and our latest winner of the award for all her work in welfare went to Sarah Hensman. So let's take a look at this presentation.
How I ended up in Kerry was I used to do the transport for a charity called Kerry Greyhound Connection that were in the UK, and I used to do the transport and come over to Kerry and collect the dogs and take them back again and home them in the UK, and which was fabulous. And obviously the more I came over to Kerry, the more I fell in love with it, and in 2010 I moved over here permanently. I first started working with the IRGT when I left the charity that I was with. I got in contact with Barry Caul when I decided to do some homing on my own, and he was very helpful in laying out a clear plan as to what I could apply for and obviously what I couldn't, and together with the vets that I was working in at the time, we got the ball rolling, do you know, and which I'm very grateful for, and it's just kind of carried on from there. Last year, from January, it was actually January 20 to January 21, I'd homed over the 200 dogs. So it was a busy year, even during COVID. It was, and it didn't stop after Christmas either. The numbers are still going, so going up, which is great. It's great that the dogs are getting a chance to find their forever homes. It's all volunteer work. I'm not registered. I work 34 hours a week and do this in my so-called spare time. Yeah, but I love it. I wouldn't have it any other way. I do it out of the goodness of my heart, and I just want to see these guys. I just want to see these guys get really good homes, and if that means them coming to my home and having a little bit of home life first, I'm all for that. Do you know, like the nervous ones that would, I don't know, 5 or 6 years ago been put to sleep because they wouldn't have been homeable, do you know, and little fellas, you wouldn't have seen puppies, do you know, if they were injured or hurt in any way. They probably wouldn't have been given the chance, but now it's lovely. It's lovely to see this, do you know, to see little Poddy here, and I know he's going to go on and be a strong dog and a chewer and just be lovely, aren't you? This little guy is 12-week-old Poddy, and he came to me last Saturday with an injury to his back leg, which unfortunately we couldn't save, but he's flying it now. He's doing very well. And little Molly came to me a couple of months ago, and she's 11, and she actually has a permanent foster home waiting for her, but she hasn't been too well, so we're not sure if she's going yet. She's more than welcome to stay because she's no trouble at all. Dottie's down in front of you there. She's a Bedlington Whippet cross, and she's about 3. Willow is from the Gory side of the country, over from the east, and I've had Willow, must be coming up to a year now, I'd say, and she's 11, going on 12. Dawny is my tripod, and I've had her from a year, just over a year old, and she's great. She just welcomes everybody, including little bitey pups. And I have Jasper and Pip, but they're on their holidays at the moment, so I was very surprised, actually. I'm very grateful for the nomination. It is a great achievement. I'm quite chuffed. Very chuffed.